When it comes to selling your home at Go Green Property, our aim is to get you the best possible results. And how do we do this? Simple, by giving you the best possible advice. From expert insights on preparing your home for selling to sharing our advice on the local property market. At Go Green Property, it's our job to achieve the best possible price as quickly as possible. Sell your home with Go Green Property. Call Glasgow 374 0409.
The Go Radio Super Show with Go Green Property, offering expert advice on preparing your home for the market.
They've just kicked off and Rangers, I would imagine they won the toss. Is that what they do? They've certainly got the kick-off, and it's Rangers who are playing right to left as we look from the main stand. From Celtic's point of view, funnily enough, they're playing from left to right. And it's a goal for Celtic. Celtic have scored in 21 seconds. It's Maida. A terrible blunder by Rangers. The ball's in the back of the net.
It's a long ball forward, Paul, from the right-hand side. Tavernier is sleeping. He doesn't know Maeda's flying up alongside him. Last-ditch Tavernier tries to scoop it away, hits Maeda on the leg, and beats Butland in the Rangers goal. It's what, after 15 seconds, we're watching it again.
You know what?
Yep.
I think I have to credit Joe Hart for this. I don't know if this is a ploy. If Joe Hart, when it goes back to Joe Hart, they've said at any time in the beginning of the game, you're put into that channel where Tavernier is.
He's played it right through. You're absolutely right.
Maeda's got so much to make up on Tavernier. And Tavernier is just trying to hook it away, hits Maeda on the outside of his right leg, and just flies past Butland in the Rangers goal. What a start for Celtic.
John, that's 22 seconds from kickoff.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. We had to play it back. Look at the way.
We'll need to check if that's the fastest
I think
ever
that's
goal
what
for
we're
an
Got to say,
Old
though,
Firm.
Paul,
Yeah.
Tavernier's sleeping.
Yeah.
He's completely doesn't even know Maeda's coming until about a second before he's right near him. He could have played it back to the goalkeeper. He could have been a lot more aware there, Tavernier.
I don't know if maybe the wind played a little bit of part in that as well. It could have held it up. But you're right in saying, you know, Tavernier's obviously get caught. But I do think that's definitely a tactical ploy at the beginning of the game. Joe Hart's played it into that space between the right centre-back of Goldson and Tavernier. And Maeda's just off his mark. We know the pace that he has in behind Tavernier, and Tavernier's getting caught, and it's a ricochet.
It's a
Got a little bit of a luck, but listen, if you don't gamble, then you don't score.
And here he comes again. It's Dyson Maeda with hair now. Of course, he's got the white. Well, not quite locks yet. Celtic fans won't care as long as he scored. It was a ricochet, dramatic start. It's not the fastest ever. A chance there from Hatate, but it's up and it's over. And Chris Sutton scored in 19 seconds. So that may be 21 or 22 seconds.
He won't be happy with that. Maeda's took the record off him. But no, sometimes as well, Paul, in these games, we forgot to mention it earlier, you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, sure.
You need luck on your side, you know, like a goal like that. Maeda, you know, he's closing Tavernier down, it's a clearance, and it just flies off his outside of his leg. So that's Celtic, little bit of luck early on. Rangers down the left-hand side now with Lundstrom.
Yep. When I heard the howling winds last night, I thought of what Barry says. The wind is the hardest thing to play in, Chris. And of course, when you're in a studio, it's fine. It looks great there. But it's just testing time for Rangers. They're a goal down within a minute, 22 seconds. Rangers coming forward, but the ball is cleared. So this is where the fans will need to be patient with the team, and I'm sure they will be under Philippe Clement, but this is really testing for them, because there was a silence there, stunned silence, when Celtic scored in 22 seconds.
I think you say the exact word there, stunned.
Stunned,
I think everybody's stunned by it. We weren't expecting that, especially the way the goal went in. But listen, it's a great advert for the game, the Scottish game. Celtic are 1-0 up at Ibrox. What's Rangers going to do now? Are they going to obviously have to go gung-ho again? Are they going to maybe Celtic going to sit in? What's it going to be? It could be more goals in this game. So far, the way it's looking, I don't see that being the only goal in this game, Paul.
It's the ideal start for Celtic. They've scored early, they've quietened the crowd. What Rangers would have done, the fans, if their team had gone 1-0 up? It would have been like a cauldron in there. Now they're quiet, and it's down to Rangers now to see if they can bounce back. They'll want to bounce back as early as they can.
Of course, well, they've won a free kick. There was a clearance there from Joe Hart.
It's a great press. Rangers obviously jumped up in a 4-4-2 there, and Lawrence presses Scales a show to the left-hand side, and Scales tries to play out from the back, as John says that he's very good at, but he gets caught on the ball. And now Rangers have a free kick, where Rangers are really, really dangerous. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers will be saying in this game, try not give as many corners away, as many set plays away, especially when you've got that delivery of Tavernier.
We talk about Tavernier's goals. We mention them all the time, but how many assists has he got?
Of course, yeah.
His delivery is outstanding.
So 4.5 minutes gone. It's going to be James Tavernier over the ball. 30 yards out, just maybe 15 yards in from the far side there. He's looking up. All the big men are up. I see Silva actually on a decoy run there, straight into the arms though of the former England goalkeeper.
Yeah, for once
Joe
it's a poor delivery. He's too close to the goalkeeper. Joe Hart comes and gets it. You know, he's really secure and he catches that, takes the pressure off the Celtic defence.
Commentator's curse, John. Isn't it? It's always the same for pundits. If you say something...
it's definitely a play. Again, that ball gets played to the left-hand side. Rangers try to force that issue down the left-hand side for Celtic there. It's Greg Taylor bouncing it into Hatate round the corner into the space to Maeda for it to run onto, and you've got a race between Tavernier and Maeda, but the ball goes out of play and then for a goal kick, and Rangers start the game quickly again. You
can certainly see the wind is whipping that way, Chris, isn't it? You made that point. That long ball went all the way. Here's James Tavernier up over the halfway line. If you're tuning in, it's the Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. It's Rangers 0, Celtic 1. Dyson Maeda scoring in 21-22 seconds of the game. As John Lundstrom plays it out to the left to Dujon Sterling. In a tussle there with Coon, not much in it, but he's gone down. It's a free kick.
Yeah, Rangers just having a minute or two there in possession. They're actually passing the ball around quite well. Just trying to make the Celtic players move. It's Coon who fouls Lundstrom, which gives Rangers the opportunity to keep the ball, and they're just playing along the back now, Goldson and Suter. But Celtic, that press, Coon, Maeda and obviously Kyogo, they'll make it difficult for the Rangers defence today.
When scoring first against Rangers, 13 games, 11 times if you score first, then you go on to win. We're just rearranging some of the screens here. Chris, you can see okay? Yeah, you sure? Because I can't.
Tell us the road, it's fine. I'm just trying to see. I can see most of it, don't worry. There's all action in the first 6.5 minutes here.
It certainly is. The ball's played.
No, listen, Rangers now obviously have control of the game, just try to force that issue of try to create an opportunity for themselves as Goldson just drives forward the ball and feeding that to the right hand side of where Rangers are really strong in that right hand side, but Celtic have obviously pressed well there.
So 1-0 Celtic, 7 minutes gone here in the Old Firm derby, the third of this season, as Rangers come through. A good ball through for Dessers, but he can't quite get clear, and a cam play by Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Yes, it's good defending by Skins. He's got Cooney. This is what I want to see. I want to see him running that Suter and Sterling on that side. Yeah, he's given a foul. Referee Beaton's given a foul. John Suter did well. He came across. He got in front of Coon, and Coon almost he fouls him from behind. He's right, John Beaton. That was definitely a foul.
James is valiantly trying to get the screen sorted, so we can all see. I don't know what's moved on the screens. 1-0 Celtic. Yeah. At the moment. Yep. As Brendan Rodgers there looks, just looking at the Celtic bench. Remember, no fans in there today. And it must be, that's where sometimes, Chris, when you get 50,000 there, it's great. When you're winning, it can be difficult though when you go a goal behind. Rangers will want to get back on level terms as soon as possible. All week, all our pundits said, hey, there's going to be goals for both teams. It's not going to be a 0-0. It's not going to be even a 1-0 Rangers or a 1-0 Celtic. They reckoned both teams would score.
Yeah, I think it's important now, Paul, with Celtic getting that early goal, that they don't sit back on the edge of the 18-yard box and invite the pressure.
It could be a long game then, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Celtic are very, very good. I just mentioned Coon, up against Sterling on the right-hand side. If he can get the ball and start running at Sterling, then that's a really good sort of a ploy for Celtic.
Rangers coming forward, but it's a good tackle there by Liam Scales, the first one.
Foul.
Is that a foul on... Who by? John,
it was a foul on Tavernier, I think, on Taylor. Scotty Wright is over. I missed this one.
He's holding his right leg. We'll maybe see the replay in just a second or two. It's frantic, isn't it? Here it is. It's Scales and Wright going in.
Brilliant tackle.
It's a great tackle.
Brilliant.
Scales timed it perfectly. And of course...
it was actually against Wright, I thought it was...
Yeah, Scott Wright.
They've obviously went for the high press when Rangers were trying to build out from the back on the right-hand side, and they've went for it. Greg Taylor was jumping on Tavernier, and then Scales went all the way across to Wright to block that right-hand side, and it's a great challenge there with Scales to win the ball. It wasn't a free kick.
No. As Rangers now trying to build, they're a goal down, 9.5 minutes gone. Carter Vickers' tackle's going to be a free kick to Rangers just on the halfway line. John Beaton saying, hey, come here.
He does a bit,
yeah. He's not looking too happy, John Beaton saying, steady on, Biggin. or something like that.
There's been a few fouls in the game already, John, huh?
Yeah, a couple of niggling attacks.
He's kicked the ball away.
I'm surprised that's not a booking.
Right, yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't booked.
You can see why the ref would be, as Rangers coming forward, breaking edge of the box. Silva's there, Dezers played it to him, he goes down, there's nothing in it. Back to Joe Hart.
Well, Carter Vickers realised this is Fabio Silva now gone over, but I'm surprised a player of his experience, Carter Vickers, you don't want to get booked, especially for being cynical, if you like, ill-disciplined.
I can see why the referee was annoyed. I hadn't realised. Silva is down, he looks to be in some pain. The game has stopped. Silva looks as though he was caught, Chris.
I think he's got the ball. I don't know. I need to see it again. I think somebody stood on his foot. Scales takes a touch of the ball there. It's actually a good link-up play between Dessers and Silva coming off the left-hand side and working like two strikers, and they nearly make that combination, and Scales makes a good challenge there, and then he got the ball, but Silva's up now.
The £30 million player, he's up and about, Chris. He'll be all right, won't he? He'll run that one off in a moment or two. It's going to be a drop ball there to Joe Hart. His last game at Ibrox Stadium, 75 caps for England, but what a swan song he's had in the last couple of years, winning 2 titles. Is it going to be 3? 2 Scottish Cups, is that going to be 3? And he's got 2 League Cups as well, and that will stay at 2, because Rangers have the League Cup this season. As Rangers now come forward, a goal down, 11 minutes gone, the ball goes all the way. You can definitely tell, John, the wind is affecting some of these balls. Look to be good ones, but they're going too far.
Yeah, that's right, but it's one of those things. Both teams have to cope with the wind.
Get on with it.
Just the way it is, yeah, absolutely. It's the same for both sides. That's a great touch from Maeda, a brilliant run from Hitati.
Great ball there, wasn't it, Chris Burke? But it's not it's read well by Conor Goldson, who plays it back to Jack Butland, but he's tackled there, isn't he, by Kyogo?
That's what Kyogo's great at.
Yeah,
Kyogo's intensity and his pressing is incredible.
Well, that's twice now, Berkey. That's Tavernier got caught on the ball, and Kyogo's got a foot in there when Butland was trying to clear the ball. So you can see Celtic's tactics is the high press. Another foul by Carter Vickers.
Yep.
So, listen, he's...
Maybe that's, another ploy where you make the little small fouls at the beginning of the game and upset the game for Rangers.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, though, if you make too many of them, it's the same foul, and you don't want to get an early card in this game.
Celtic are on it at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
That'd be fair. I mean, it could go either way. Of course it could. There's only a goal in it. There's only 12 minutes gone, but you sense that Celtic are
in the driving seat at this moment in time. I think that they're actually... Their press is better than Rangers passing at this moment in time. I think a few passes are astray with Rangers, and I think Celtic are working their press really well and then winning the ball and countering from there. As you can see again, instantly, Hitati slipping that through ball in between Tavernier and Goldson again. Maeda making that terrific run, but he does out to in, a ball across the face of goal, and Kyogo is nearly on the end of it. It's an early cross again, but listen, that's definitely one of the tactics from Celtic, isn't it, John?
Well, it's a perfectly weighted ball by Hitati, through the Rangers play, split the Rangers centre-halves, and it's a brilliant ball. Maeda tends to... You whip that in first time, and it was just a little bit too heavy for Kyogo to get on it. But again, Celtic breaking on the counter looked very dangerous.
I think he could have maybe took a touch there, Maeda, or maybe use his instep to cull that back into the space of Kyogo. But again, wind assisted, isn't it? It's easy for us to see in the eye here, but it does look as if the wind conditions are maybe affecting the game a little bit.
The Celtic press is good, isn't it? Celtic
really
are looking good. Rangers cleared their lines, but a bad deflection there. It's just not going their way at the moment. Celtic do seem to be on it. 13 minutes gone, 1-0 Celtic. Alistair Johnson, the Canadian international's got a throw in inside his own half. Celtic, remember, playing left to right. If you're looking from the old stand, the main stand at Ibrox Stadium in Govan in Glasgow, where the sun is shining, but it's very, very windy. Storm Kathleen is just sort of blowing itself out as Celtic come forward again. Tackle, referee says nothing to see, play on, and is played out to the right. Tavernier to Goldson along the back four to John Souttar, the former Hearts and the Scotland defender.
They look a bit nervy, Paul.
Rangers
look a bit nervy at the back, whether it's Celtic high press or whether Rangers just can't quite find the right passes out of the back. But there's 3 or 4 occasions now where Celtic have really pressed high, and Rangers just look nervous defensively at this moment.
And Chris, this is a Celtic without Callum McGregor, the captain that we thought in, this cauldron, that you would need him there probably just to steady things. But so far, Iwata doing really well.
Well, so far, Rodgers has got it right.
Yeah, sure.
If you really think about it.
He's been so heavily criticised, hasn't he, this season? By Celtic fans and by other fans as well. You sense that, the narrative has been Philippe Clement has done brilliantly, no question. But Brendan Rodgers has had to fight for every sort of scrap of good news.
Golson, give it all.
So what happened there?
It was another, obviously.
Golson's dallying on the ball. He's given it away and then he's handled it and he's given the foul against Celtic to Golson. Didn't see a lot wrong with that.
I looked away, Chris, at that point. So
it's another great press from Celtic. Arguably you could say that Hatate got a nick on it before Golson goes down in the build from Rangers, but they're definitely putting pressure on the two centre-backs of Rangers, whether it's Hatate, Maeda, Kyogo, and they're putting them under pressure and they're having to go long, and Celtic are just picking it up. They're very aggressive in their press and it's worked so far in the first 15 minutes here, Paul.
John Sterling, though, trying to urge his teammates on. He's playing in the left back position with no Ridvan. Barisic is on the bench, but there's Alistair Johnson just taking the sting out of it, because Rangers had a chance there. Could have been a good piece of play, but the only goal, I'd say the only goal so far, it's only 15 and a half minutes gone. It was Maeda in 22 seconds. So
it's been a great start by Celtic, obviously getting the goal as well. Whether the Rangers would have had it.
Here come Rangers down the left, sorry, John. Plays it in, looking to bring in Dessers, but it's cleared by Celtic up towards the halfway line. John, Celtic at the moment look as though they're looking for a second goal. Would that be fair?
And why not? It would take. The early goal has been really good for Celtic in terms of settling early. But a second goal would be wonderful, Paul. And listen, you wouldn't rule it out the way Celtic are pressing high and looking for the Rangers' defence to make mistakes.
They're pressing high, but also playing forward early. Sometimes you would say that Rodgers' tactics employ is, build your way through the thirds, get yourself into the opposition's half, and then work the attack from there. But as you see straight away, it's definitely there to say, as soon as you get it, you're exploiting that defence and that space in behind of either Goldson, Suter, Sterling and Tavernier. And it's worked so far.
Celtic have got a great out. You were going out to down the left-hand side, playing it inside.
Playing it to Iwata. Plays it to Matt O'Reilly. O'Reilly plays it out to the right to Nicholas Coon. Coon, edge of the box, looks, tries to get the shot away, cannons off. Sterling's going to be thrown to Celtic 22 yards out, right-hand side.
Positive as well from Coon. He cuts inside, tries a left-foot shot, Sterling blocks it. It's out for a throw-in. You got Johnson now taking the throw-in.
17 minutes.
What do you make of Johnson?
Yeah.
I quite like him. I don't think he's had the season that he's had previously. I think when he first came, Harry was talking how well he was doing, but again this season he's had a couple of injuries, but I don't think he's had the influence that he's had in the previous two seasons. But I still like him as a player.
What do you think, Chris?
I like him.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he's athletic. I think he's a really good right back for Celtic. I do think he's maybe asked to do a different role now than he was at Ange Postecoglou. So he's playing a different sort of style, and I think he can fit the both profiles again.
So Jack Butland there dallied too long on the ball. Wasn't a great ball to him, and in came Kyogo and almost nipped it off him just near the goal line.
Butland's not having that happened, Burke, already.
That's having a press, but here come Rangers at the other end. It's Dessers trying to get on to Silva, trying to play him through Tom Lawrence, but it goes all the way back to Joe Hart. Chris, you take that one as a Rangers attack.
I think Tom Lawrence goes to play that little ball over the top to the left hand side inside the box where Dessers was running onto, and again he's just misjudged it, and he's played it into the path of the Joe Hart, the keeper. That was just a little final moment there that Dessers could have had the shot to go and be clear 1-on-1. But John's right, there's so many times that they're putting that pressure on Butland, Suter, Goldson, and now if you can see Lundstrom's trying to drop down like a back three, just to maybe give a little bit of control in the game. But Celtic's press has been magnificent so far. You have to give them credit for that, and it's worked. And again, they're winning the ball in their half. And
they're on it again. It's Iwata through to the left to Maeda. Maeda gets round Tavernier, but it's wild. It's one of those Maeda crosses. You never know where it's going, but it's halfway towards Dintoka.
It's poor quality. Celtic initially get the ball. They got possession. Play it wide to Maeda. Again, he's got the beat in the Tavernier, and he's got the opportunity to put a good ball in the box, but he's a little bit wasteful with that cross.
I'm quite surprised that Rangers haven't went a bit more direct. I don't know if maybe the wind's blowing the other way where they can't, and they're trying to then build through the thirds. But normally Rangers, that's one thing about Clermont, they weren't afraid to hit the strikers early, hit the wide players early, and play forward as early as you can. But they're still trying to work it in their own half and try and maybe provoke that press of Celtic and get out. But it's just not worked so far, Paul.
James, can you check with Sean Batty, see which way the wind's going, so we know? It's going to be a booking, you're saying, with Coon and
That's
Sterling.
Booking, yeah.
Who's been booked, John?
I don't know. Coon on Sterling. Sterling just got in front of him and he's pulled him back by his shoulder and he grabbed the shirt. But it's dissent. It's a silly booking.
Why would you do that? There.
Look at that. He's gone Sterling and he just pulls his shirt.
It's a forward player's foul, that, John.
Well, you know he's going to get booked.
I know. It's especially 20 minutes into the game, the emotion of this game, the way it is. One of your players is getting booked 20 minutes in, so Brendan Rodgers is probably going to have to look at that, or maybe have to have a word with him at half time, hopefully for Celtic's sake. He makes it to half time, and then that will probably put into Brendan Rodgers' thought process of what's my first sub going to be. And Coon's been influential for Celtic.
He has. But on the bench, Bernardo, there's Forrest, of course. Yang could well come on, actually, for Celtic.
Ida.
Yep. If you're just tuning in, John Hartson, Chris Burke and Paul Cooney. 1-0 Celtic, the goal in 22 seconds. And it was, of course, the Japanese international, Daisen Maeda, who scored at the World Cup, year before now, wasn't it? As Celtic come forward again down the left. Greg Taylor, Scotland international, looks forward, plays out left to the Japanese international Maeda. Maeda turns, checks, moves infield, tries to play a 1-2 there with Hatate. Hatate loses out. Good play by Rangers. Diamondi to Lundstrom. Lundstrom strides up over the halfway line, plays it forward, but it's too much on it, Chris Burke, wasn't it?
It's
too heavy.
Really well. Initially, Lundstrom, he broke and he drove forward with the ball at his feet for about 40-50 yards. And he's trying to play in Dezers, but the pass was a little bit heavy and went straight into Joe Hart's arms.
I think he should just keep driving with the ball there. He was unchallenged. He had time and space to drive it into the Celtic area where he could have probably had a shot at goal as well, or just play wide. I think he's trying to force up a pass that's probably not on. I don't think even the run was on to do it either. So Celtic have started this game better, Paul. I don't know about you, John, but I do believe that at this moment in time, Celtic are at the upper hand. Even if it was 0-0, I would probably still say the same thing.
Yeah, they look comfortable in possession, don't they, Celtic? I think they started to pass it round, a little bit more movement, the opportunity, more angles to get the ball.
So that's midway through the first half. It has been a quick one, hasn't it? 22 and a half minutes gone. Rangers now coming forward, trying to get back in, but there's too much on it. Goes all the way back. Carter Vickers just touches it to his goalkeeper. Joe Hart thumps it up towards the halfway line, but it's headed forward by Connor Goldson. He's played in 24, I think, Old Firm games. Plays it forward. Good touch there, wasn't it? But he's gone down. And it's going to be a free kick to Rangers. Scott Wright. We haven't seen too much of him, have we, Chris, at all? He took a bit of a knock early on.
No, he's a little bit quiet. He's obviously not get because the Rangers building in their own half. Maybe Scott Wright's been asked to play in Celtic's half, but he's not been influential yet in the game. You're hoping for Rangers' sake, yes, but he's got a foul there. Great touch round the corner to beat Greg Taylor, and Greg Taylor had to foul him, and now Tavernier's got a set play, but
here it comes, plays it into the box, looking for Silva, maybe too much on it. Silva still goes, it's gone past in fact it's going to be a corner kick, referee John Beaton says.
Yeah, it's a very clever free kick. Tavernier just slides it down the side of the Celtics wall and to Silva. Silva gets there just before Taylor and wins a corner for his side. Rangers corner on the right hand side.
Look at the wind there. The shirts are billowing in it, and the corner flag there. So there's Dezers up near the line. Lawrence is in there as well.
The wind looks as if it's blown towards Joe Hart.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks as if the ball get held up a bit. Tavernier probably thought the ball was going into the space where he could just arrive to.
Here comes a chance for Goldson, but he heads over the bar.
What a chance.
Corner kick came in. Goldson rose up there, almost unchallenged, I think.
You're right, Paul. It's Diamandi with the corner. Goldson makes a good run. I think he loses Carter Vickers. And he's got free header inside the 6-yard box, very unchallenged. And that is a massive chance for Goldson.
He'll be disappointed with that. Goldson's quality, you would have liked to think he would have at least got that in target, John.
Yeah, definitely. He'd be disappointed with that. And as you say, he's a very good head of the ball, so that's a great chance.
He sure is, and he did well as Celtic come forward. Up over the halfway line, the ball's headed forward. O'Reilly trying to get in ahead of Goldson, but Goldson's there.
Foot.
And plays it to Lundstrom. Lundstrom with a high foot, but the referee says nothing to see here. John Beaton plays out to the left to Fabio Silva, the Portuguese star, on loan from Wolves, but it's a poor ball, and it's picked up there by Iwata. Iwata to Matt O'Reilly, who was the subject of a bid from, or an inquiry from Atletico Madrid a few months ago, but he's here playing in the Glasgow derby, where Celtic are 1-up. He plays it forward. Sorry, Chris Burke.
Obviously that was slack there with Silva trying to play an inside to Sterling. And then obviously then Celtic have their counter attack again. But I've noticed that any time Sterling bombs forward, Lundstrom's filling that space. So Lundstrom seems to be the one that's a protector of that side of the pitch.
Going to be a busy afternoon for him, isn't it? There's a lot, because Sterling does want to bomb forward as Celtic take the throw in. Try to get it to Maeda, but it doesn't reach him, and it's cleared, but it's only cleared as far as O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Maeda in the box. Oh, what a save by Jack Butler. What a chance for Celtic. Maeda right-footed, brilliant save to his left from Jack Butland. Save of the game so far. Celtic still on the charge down the right. Alistair Johnson being tackled by Silva. Plays it back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly, nice play with Nicholas Kuhn. Kuhn looks up. Who's there? There's Kyogo to his left. In fact, as Hatate goes for the strike. What a strike! Just past the post. What a period of Celtic pressure.
Well, it's initially a brilliant ball by Matt O'Reilly. He splits the Rangers' defence, and Maeda gets a great chance, one-on-one, slight angle. Butland saves it. And then a couple of seconds later, Celtic working again. We just seen Maeda's chance. Hatate on the edge of the box. Feels he's in a good space. Hits it. It just goes right to Butland's post. But good possession for Celtic. Good couple of efforts on goal.
I think Maeda will be disappointed with that one again, John. I don't think he's opened up his hips enough. I don't think he's took his first touch out his feet quick enough. I think Tavernier's a little bit too narrow when O'Reilly slips Maeda, and that could have been easily 2-0 in the game. Yeah,
and we're talking about big moments in the game, and we've just mentioned Celtic could go 2. Then obviously that would be very, very, very crucial in the game. Rangers are now looking for the next goal. Obviously, the onus is on them to bounce back.
Maeda's been a huge threat, hasn't he? A huge threat so far in this 26 minutes.
Maeda's pace, he's probably
He's so hard to predict, isn't he?
He always seems to be the first name on the team sheet, in these games, his energy and his drive.
It's one thing he has, and probably Brendan Rodgers likes it.
Rangers forward, sorry. As Dezers plays it to Lawrence. Lawrence tries to play it to Diamonde, breaking through, but Hitate's gone down. It's going to be a free kick to Celtic. But
another silly foul from Diamonde. They're up in Celtic's defensive third, and he fouls Hitate on the edge of Celtic's penalty box.
England manager is in town. Sorry, John, he's there. Jack Butland had a tough first 27 minutes. Let's hope from his point of view, Chris, it's not getting to him. It wouldn't. He's too experienced with it. If
he's dallied on the ball a few times. Been caught out on the ball.
I would like to see the goal again to see where he was and was he caught in his heels, because it seemed as if it was really close to him, albeit it was a ricochet. Will he be disappointed with that? But listen, I would need to see it again to see if he would be disappointed in that.
We'll try and get them to play it again at Sky. They will soon, Chris, I'm sure. It's Chris Burke, the former Rangers, Birmingham City, Kilmarnock and Scotland star, along with John Hartson, Arsenal, West Ham, Luton. They all won yesterday. And, of course, Celtic will his team win today. Well, they're 1-up at the moment in the Old Firm derby. It's the first of 2024, isn't it? Because the one at New Year was right at the end of the old year. They'll be playing again probably the 11th, 12th of May, we reckon, at Celtic Park. Hey, and they could well be playing in the Cup final, Aberdeen-Celtic on the 19th, Rangers-Hearts on the 20th. So that's a foul for Rangers. What was needless, John? What happened?
Iwata again, Celtic are almost in possession, and it's a 50-50, and Iwata fouls, and then the ball falls to a Celtic player. There's really no need to do these silly fouls. There's so many of the little niggly little fouls, Paul, not maybe worthy of a yellow card. But sometimes you don't need to foul.
Sure. One yellow card so far. You saw the gag going round about contactless payments going round. There's always things from the football fans.
Absolutely.
1-0 Celtic, 29 minutes gone. As Rangers now try to fashion something. How they'd love, Chris, to get something before the break. It's a huge time.
But if there's one thing Clement's been great at is create that calmness and still give them that belief and to come back from maybe being 1-0 down. Rangers will get a big chance in this game. It's just whether they take it or not, like John said, the fine margins. And obviously then again, there's too much quality on that pitch for both teams for not to create chances, Paul.
Yeah, for sure. More goals is what we reckon. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here with Go Green Property. We'll be here tomorrow night at 5 with Barry Ferguson and Mark Guidi looking over what's happened today.
Kyogo's doing well today, Paul. And he's not the most physical, but when the ball comes into him, he's neat and tidy, and he's keeping the ball for Celtic, which, you know, as a centre forward, you need to do that. It gives the defenders an opportunity to come up the pitch.
If I was Celtic at this moment in time, I think what they're doing now is just try to keep the ball and upset the Rangers fans.
They've just done it, as you say.
Yeah,
They've done it. Look at Maida.
Lawrence caught in possession.
Maida upset Rangers there. The ball's played. It's a goal for... No,
what a save!
It was hitting. It was just off the line. What a save by Jack Butland.
What a save. I tell you what, Gareth Southgate's got to take him on that save alone. This is unbelievable. It's a great header. Great header. It's Maeda first of all. Ball comes in.
First time cross.
O'Reilly, and there's a wonder save from Butland to stop Rangers going 2 down.
Rangers have been caught so many times in their own half from Celtic's high press. An early cross, O'Reilly arrives in the box. First time contact, a header.
Has it almost goal number 2. Again, Butland saving. Scales was in there. It's relentless, Chris, isn't it? Here comes the...
Here's another cross. Down the right. Cross into the box. Bodies in the box. Great delivery again. I think Maida's just took it off Kyogo a little bit with that front post run.
Scales is a toe away from making it 2-0.
Yep. Liam Scales.
Well, the last minute or two, Celtic have had 2 great chances. 2 great chances where Butland's had to make a save, and then has Maida took it off him a little bit? I think he has.
We're looking at VAR. Goes with the handball.
Come off. This could be a penalty. It's come off the right arm. Let's see it one more time.
He's almost put his elbow out.
It's this new law which people
can agree with that.
Golson's gone with his arm. He's gone with his elbow.
Chris, I hate it. I know. Everyone does. We'll find out.
Anybody who's looking at that game there, that's not a handball. That's not a penalty. I know the laws of the game. John can disagree
on
this.
The one Celtic got against them at the Hearts.
He's got to go and look at the VAR. He's going to look at the monitor.
What a moment for Beaton. What a moment this is.
Wow, drama. Well, Celtic are a goal up.
He needs sunglasses because the sun, he's covering his eyes.
It was almost 2 there, and we're just seeing it again. Up goes Connor Goldson with Liam Scales.
Look, see, the thing is, right,
it's come off his elbow.
If Maida doesn't have that little nick, then does Goldson get another bit of contact differently?
Yeah. Here's the decision. Penalty.
It looked as if Goldson led with his elbow. I've got to say that.
Yep. John, who takes it?
Kyogo.
Is it Kyogo? Yep. So we're just seeing it again. Listen, I think we all hate this law. Everyone does in the game. He hasn't gone in trying to palm the ball, but it's come off his elbow there. But under...
O'Reilly's taking it. Matt O'Reilly, sorry. Not Kyogo.
O'Reilly's he's good tactically. As you say, cultured left foot.
This is a huge penalty, Paul.
Sure is.
Celtic go 2-0 up after 35 minutes. This is a massive moment in the game.
Yep. So he's just standing with the ball there, just waiting. Jack Butland takes some water or look his
This has been a really good spell in the last 5 or 6 minutes for Celtic.
It all comes from Rangers losing the ball in their own half.
Celtic are going for it, aren't they? It's just it's different. Brendan Rodgers' hands in his pockets, just looking. There's silence on the ground almost. So it's Matt O'Reilly puts the ball down, just taking his time.
Big moment in the game. This Matt O'Reilly against Butland. No Kyogo taking it. Decided to go with O'Reilly.
Comes forward, left-footed, shoots, goal.
Comfortable as you like. A Panenka right down the middle. Butland goes to his left. O'Reilly just dinks it right in the middle of the goal. Celtic 2-0 up, playing really, really good football. They deserve to be 2-0 up in this game.
What a penalty. Especially the pressure at Ibrox. You're 1-0 up. It could go to 2-0, and he's absolutely dinked it in the middle.
But what nerve. Honest to God, what to do that? 55,000 Rangers fans there. to dink it down the middle, just class.
He is a quality. He's a quality player, Matt Riley. He's scored double figures this season, double figures in assists. He's so important to the Celtic team. He stepped up at Ibrox. Rangers are 1-0 down, and he's dinked the keeper, Butland, by the way, a fantastic keeper. Rangers have got a lot to deal with. Can they get in at half time with hopefully get a goal back? Or if not, then Clement's going to have to maybe change things.
This could be a £40 million game today, because people think whoever wins today will go on to win the title. Nothing is certain. It's been a season where Celtic have slipped up against the smaller teams. Rangers have been pretty much relentless, but so far they haven't been able to beat Celtic. If they do today, it'll be one of the huge turnarounds and comebacks.
And what Celtic have to do now, Paul, is just try and get in at half time. 2-0 up at half time, hopefully, and then obviously regroup, have a sit down and just relax and think about what the opportunity they have today.
Celtic come forward again, ball into the box for Kyogo.
It's another chance.
Tackle there by Goldson, though, that was close, wasn't it?
Celtic are absolutely murdering Rangers down the sides. Well, it's the right hand side or the left hand side, and they're going to have to try and stop that. The early deliveries, and Kyogo's great movement that, again, second post, it's across to the second post.
Rangers trying to play up. There's nobody that wants to go and get the ball from the defence.
Monday to Lundstrom, but he's got two Celtic players on him. Immediately plays it to Silva. Silva's tackled immediately by Carter Vickers. Celtic's press is impressive.
It's really good. It's really aggressive as well. They've just went all the way. You see Johnson going all the way inside the middle of the pitch there when Silva comes inside and he wins the ball back, and Silva's looking for a free kick, but I'm sorry, it's not a free kick. I think Rangers need to maybe work a high press. I think they've tried to go into that mid block and let Celtic maybe dictate a little bit, which is allowing them to play the balls down the side, just like here.
Again.
What a ball there through to Maeda. Who played that, John? That was a brilliant ball forward by Taylor. I mean, he's underrated. What a ball there. Chris, how did he flick a switch, though? I've never played the game professionally. How can you just... Because they would want to be having the press, or have they been told not to?
Yeah, well, I was probably maybe it's information that they've planned all week, and it's hard to then just change that. You still have to believe in the process and what Clement's done already. You can still have to trust what's happening. Don't get me wrong, it's obviously not working at this moment in time, but that's not to say that it's not going to work the second half. But it's evident to see that Celtic's press is better than Rangers at this moment in time, and it's got them the rewards, and it's created chances for them, especially down the sides with crosses, and they're 2-0 up. But you see again,
and Celtic coming forward in the box looking for goal number 3. It's still in play. Jack Bullen couldn't quite collect it. He did second time round. Kyogo inches away.
Celtic look as if they're full of it in terms of confidence and their passing and their control. Rangers, I have to say, Bergie, look nervy. All the way from the goalkeeper to the back four. They look very, very nervy, and it's important that Rangers, if they are going to get back in the game, they get the next goal, Paul.
And they're on the ball now, just the edge of the box.
See, Rangers need to start doing this, just working it side to side, and then maybe attacking. They're not keeping the ball in Celtic's final third, defensive third at all. You can see Clement there, he's getting a little bit of frustration.
The crowd is the Rangers crowd now. The more lacklustre, the more sloppy Rangers are, particularly in possession, the crowd will get onto that.
Let's be careful what you wish for, John. When you don't have other fans in the grounds, and both clubs have been at it for years now. I know it's changing a bit next year. Let opposition fans in, because days like this, if Celtic get a third, Chris, it would be...
Well, third would be very, very difficult. It's difficult enough when you're playing against a good opponent. And you're 2-0 down against your competitor. But John Hartson is right in what he said. You have to make sure you stay in the game. And next goal could kill it for Rangers if it's Celtics. So the next goal, either way, is so important in this match, Paul.
But you know what? Brendan Rodgers will be saying at half time, let's keep going. Let's go and get a third. There's no way Celtic will sit back in this game.
Treat it like
it goes against the grain for Celtic, Paul, to play like that. Of course. They're always on the front.
Look at the ball there. Sorry. Was that Hatate? What a ball through to O'Reilly. He played it through to Kyogo, but it was well cut out by Rangers. Silva's gone down.
He's been down all game.
He's holding his face. I think he's obviously looking for... He is holding his face. I don't know what's happened. We'll have to see it again.
Again, that's the third time Silva's went down. I think is it
him and Alistair Johnson, maybe? I don't know.
I think Alistair Johnson's blocked his run.
Right.
Wilson looks to play the ball.
It's a booking at the best. He's blocked his run.
Clement shouting to
Saturday
Willie
as well,
Collum. He's saying, come on, Monsieur Collum, surely.
Look, you've seen the replay, not even a booking for Alistair Johnson. Absolutely ridiculous, by the way, from Silva.
Yeah.
He's rolling around 6 or 7 times on the floor.
Yellow card.
He's booked
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that because I didn't really think that Rangers could have created even a counter-attack from that if the ball was even played over the top. But listen, that's Johnson book now. So you've got Kuhn book, Johnson book, and that then the same side of the pitch.
Yeah.
So Rangers might have to look at that also. But
of course,
Rangers are shook at this moment in time, Paul.
Celtic have to keep, they both keep 11 men on the pitch. You don't want to get anyone sent off. As Celtic now come away again, 40 minutes have been played up over the halfway line. That's a poor ball though, isn't it?
I think Kuhn's got to do better there.
Yeah.
He's got ample of space in front of him.
Yeah.
That's what he does. There's no one coming inside and playing tricky little passes. He's quick, he's quick.
Rangers are so off. Here come chance for Kyogo. 1-on-1 with Goldson. Goldson does well though, and then Suter clears. That was a chance, John, for Celtic.
It was a chance, and Kyogo opted to go on his own, but to his left-hand side, it was Maeda, and he was free. You just see here, Maeda's sort of running there, look to join him. If he can just get his head up, he can play in Maeda, but he goes on his own.
What happened from a Rangers point of view?
It's a slack pass. Tavernier tries to play the ball inside to Diamonde. The pass is not there. It's slack. It's intercepted. Ball's in between the two centre-backs with Kyogo making that run. It's a first-time pass, but they've probably worked on. And yes, I think Kyogo should have taken a touch at his feet and then get the shot away or even use Maeda. But it's another great opportunity for Celtic from Rangers' slackness.
Yeah. It's happened time and time again. Here come Rangers as that Silva's gone down again. This time tackled by Matt O'Reilly, who gets yellow cards. So Celtic with 3 yellow cards in the first half.
A lot's happened so far, Paul.
Sure has.
O'Reilly, a little bit late there.
Yeah. So Matt O'Reilly, yellow cards. I wonder if the manager...
That's 3 for Celtic, 3 yellow cards. And I have to say, probably the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, the Nicholas Kuhn one was so stupid, wasn't it? There was no point. Chris, you were kind of doing defending and attacking play. As Rangers come forward, edge of the box, but it's cleared. This is Rangers now with 3.5 minutes left in the first half, plus stoppage. There are 2 goals down. The ball goes out of play. It's going to be a corner.
A little bit void of ideas, Paul. They're looking, there's no one in front of them to pass to. No one's making angles. And I think they've played so many balls, just lumped so many balls forward.
Let's see the corner.
They've had their best job. The tutors obviously have to go off here. He's got a cut to his head. You can see all the blood. They'll have to change his shirt. But listen, Rangers' best chance of the game has been from a set play. A set play for Goldson would be disappointed that he didn't get the target. Could have made it 1-1. Then Celtic get a penalty. But now Suter's off the pitch with a corner, so you've got one of your main threats off the pitch.
Corner for Rangers, 42.5 minutes gone. James Tavernier, right-footed, high, right up towards the Joe Hart, actually, who just panned it away.
Right on top of the goalkeeper, just under the crossbar. Good delivery, actually.
You see that happening yesterday in the games? Will Prowse as well scored direct from a corner.
Yeah, he did.
As we see what happened just beforehand.
Flash ahead.
Yeah, flash ahead. So it's going to be corner kick at the other side for Rangers, left-footed into the box, cleared away by I think Carter Vickers there, but it's still Rangers. James Tavernier,
it's really good. It's really good. Just James Tavernier just put it out.
Too much on it.
For a Celtic goal kick.
2 minutes left in the first half, John. Celtic 2 up.
And they deserved it, Paul. Rangers haven't really performed being the home side. It's almost like it's gone against them with that extra pressure of having, 50,000, 55,000 Rangers fans in there. But Celtic have had control, Paul. They passed it better. They took their opportunities. Yes, they got a little bit of luck with the first goal. But Rangers have looked nervy at times.
Look at this nervy through. Sorry, Kyogo. Chris, you take it. That was another chance for Celtic.
I think it's Diamonde that makes a pass back to Butland, but it's short because of the wind, and Kyogo's nearly on end it, but Butland has a good position to clear it.
And Rangers coming forward, but there's 2 Celtic players around Tom Lawrence, but it's still with Rangers.
Maeda's been exceptional in this first half.
Johnny's been everywhere on the pitch, hasn't he?
Everywhere, yeah.
But quickly taken. Rangers now trying to get a goal before half-time. Pull one back. And it's to John Lundstrom. Lundstrom plays a 1-2 with his captain, James Tavernier plays it out to Scott Wright. We haven't seen much of him. Good ball forward, tries to release Tom Lawrence. Surely back to the keeper. Joe Hart left-footed. Up 30 yards, looking for Hatate, but he's beaten there by Diamondi. Diamondi now looks up. Who's there in support? Again, it's another poor ball. Chris, can you believe it? Celtic now in the attack. Playing it through. Matt O'Reilly threads it through to Kyogo. Kyogo, who's with him? There's nobody up at the moment. He's got Maida, but he plays it to Hatate. Shot from Hatate, but I think, is it taken? Is it going to be a corner kick? John, Celtic are getting chance after Rangers are sloppy.
Could be 4-0 up, Paul.
Yeah?
Celtic could be 4-0 up. That's how many opportunities they've had.
Chris, what would you be saying if you're the Rangers manager at half-time? Any chance you can play the ball to each other and stop giving away in midfield?
Listen, the thing is, the fullbacks of Rangers are so high that they're getting exploited down the sides. I see Tavernier high, I see Sterling high, and then it's a slack pass in the middle of the pitch. And then before you know it, there's a transition where Celtic are so threatening with their pace and creativity up top that you're right, John, they could be more than 2 up in this game.
That's brilliant from Mattavan. What the Celtic players are doing as well, Paul, they're picking up the second balls. They're getting goal side of the Rangers players.
John, 2 minutes added on, so there's 100 seconds left. 2-0 Celtic as Rangers now come forward, trying to get something just before the break. Tom Lawrence through to Dessers. Chance for Silva. Good save by Joe Hart. Still with Silva. Tries again. The ball's still cannoning around. The ball's still in the box. It's Fabio Silva one more time, but it's cleared now by AJ. What a chance, but the pressure's still on for Rangers down the left. John Lundstrom. Lundstrom looks up. Who's there? Tom Lawrence.
This game, Paul, is far from over, by the way. Rangers there, good pressing. Joe Hart flew out off his line, made himself big, and a really good save with his feet.
That's better from Rangers.
Yeah, pressing
seven players in the Celtic's half. But the problem you've got is the threat of Celtic in the attack. I like to listen, that worked there because Scott Wright comes off shape, so he can't find the game in the right hand side. So he comes into the number 10 position and then plays a little ball to Silva, and Silva has a shot at goal, and Joe Hart saves it. With Rangers attacking there, they show that they're still dangerous, Paul.
For sure.
They're still. This game is not over. This game is certainly not over.
Right,
and I don't think Celtic will think it's all over, by the way, at half time. That's certainly the wrong way to be going into the second half. Yeah, huge advantage away at your rivals in terms of where we are in the league, but it's certainly not over this game.
What a game you've asked me back for. This is excellent.
Isn't it? Great to have you back, Chris Burke. You've been coaching.
John here.
You can come every week if you want, Chris.
John Hartson, Chris Burke with me, Paul Cooney. Final act of the first half, Celtic coming forward, the 2 up, ball played out to the left, looking for Dyson Maida, but I think the whistle will go any second from John Beaton.
What a save. Joe Hart kept Celtic in the game.
Crucial moment there, John. If Rangers get that goal back at 2-1, half time, what a time to score.
What a save. Makes himself really big, Joe Hart.
Wow.
Whether Silva can just lift that a little bit, what do you think?
What would you? Well, you're the striker, John, you tell me.
I'd have tried to lift that.
Would you? Yep.
Just trying that little clever lift over, because you know Joe Hart's going to come out and make himself big and spread himself. So the other way you can maybe, score there is just to lift it over Joe Hart.
I must say Celtic have been excellent.
They have, haven't they?
Paul. And Rangers done there what Celtic should have been doing what Celtic was doing the whole first half. They were playing little combination plays, getting really tight together and then getting to their full-backs and crossing the ball. I think Rangers were playing a little bit far apart from each other. With Scott Wright, you've got Silva, Dessers. I don't think they were playing. They had to identify it to play close together to get little moments like that. And so maybe Clement might change that sort of aspect of the game just to get a bit of control with essentially the pitch. I think Celtic are winning the battle in the middle, and I also think they're winning the battle up front as well.
Half time, Rangers 0, Celtic 2.
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Looking to sell property in Glasgow? Call Kaylee and the team on 0141 374 0409.
Half time in the Old Firm derby, and what a start. Celtic scoring in 22 seconds. Dyson Maida ricocheted, it was a race. Tavernier was beaten, Maida was lightning quick, and Jack Butland as well. Suddenly the ball was in the back of the net. 22 seconds, second fastest ever. We think Chris Sutton scored in 19 seconds. And then penalty kick, which obviously will be debated. It's one of the newer ones, isn't it, where it's come off Goldson's arm. It's not one of those.
I don't think he had many complaints, Paul. His elbow was up. He led with his elbow. And I think John Beaton, as you say, one of the best referees in Scotland, he went over to the screen and had a look at it, and we deemed it was a penalty.
And what a penalty it was.
Yeah,
John, you've
calm.
taken a few. Was it a Panenka?
I was never as calm as to do that, especially someone like Ibrox in that cauldron with all them fans that are against you. If you miss that, you get ridiculed for it. But you've got to be brave to try that Panenka straight down the middle. Butland went to his left. That's cool, calm, composure. That's nerves of steel from Matt O'Reilly.
Chris, what did you make of it?
I think that was analysed though probably during the week. I think that's been planned.
But you've still got to have the skill.
Of course you do.
And the composure to do that skill, because you can under-hit it, you can over-hit it, type of thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I think, obviously, O'Reilly's practiced that. He's had a word in talking with the coaching staff and especially the goalkeeping coach to see what Butland does when he dives. Yeah. And you're right, that bravery, that courage.
Absolutely, mate. And the other side of it as well, Bergie, is that, for Kyogo not to take it, maybe the centre forward, he's handed it to a midfield player. All right, O'Reilly's he's into double figures this season with goals, but normally your centre forward, but they've obviously decided who the penalty taker is, and it was handed to Matt O'Reilly, who made no mistake.
John, 21 seconds they're saying, so I was out by a second, so it's phenomenal. We're just seeing it back though because it was a whirlwind start. So you see Tavernier, Maida, and suddenly the ball's in the back of the net.
Oh yes, a brilliant start. And think you just look, it flies past Butland in the Rangers goal. It's not too far in the corner, by the way. He's just gone down to his left-hand side, but there was so much pace on the ball when Tavernier tried to hit it away, but he hits it onto Maeda's foot, flies past Butland in the Rangers goal.
And then we see the penalty incident, 31 minutes, ball into the box. We were looking at scales, who had a chance to score, and here it is. We're just seeing it one more time.
There's a toe away from that. If he gets a touch to that, he scores.
It comes off the elbow of Connor Goldson. Chris, unlucky. It's the modern game.
It's the modern game. It's just, you're going to see a lot of penalties the longer football is played. It's just, it's unfortunate. It's not deliberate. It does probably affect the impact of the cross and where the ball lands. And Rangers now are down 2-0 at half time, have 45 minutes to rectify this. So what sort of changes is Clement going to look for? I don't know if he's going to make changes. What do you think, John? How does Celtic approach it as well with 2-0 up? Is it a difficult scoreline, that?
Well, it is, because the next goal is absolutely crucial, whoever gets it. I think Cantwell has to come on. Lawrence has not done a lot in that game for me. He's been very, very quiet. Lundstrom's tried to drive the team forward, I have to say that. I think if Tavernier wasn't James Tavernier, he'd be dragged, because he's been run ragged in that first half by Maeda. So for me, I think Cantwell comes on with a little bit more energy. Seamer, you might see Seamer in the second half. McCausland, forward-thinking players who can cause more problems for Celtic in Celtic's defensive third. So there's opportunities there. There's plenty of scope for Clement to make changes. I think Celtic will pretty much be the same, and Brendan Rodgers will say more of the same. They've created several opportunities. Probably Berkey should be another goal at least in front.
Oh, they did. Hatati's shot, which went just wide, remember. A Maeda chance just ahead of that. Butland saves. O'Reilly header. Butland saves. Liam Scales, the chance then, of course, was the penalty. And Rangers' best chance was that corner kick to the head of Connor Goldson. He did really well to get above Carter Vickers, but it was over the top.
Yeah, well, Rangers have had 3 chances, obviously from the Goldson header. Then you had Tavernier, obviously, the in-swinger that gave Joe Hart a little bit of a problem, really directly in. And then you've got Wright then coming off his shape and slipping in Silva, where Joe Hart makes a crucial save just before half-time, because that could be a different team talk at half-time. That could be different personnel coming on the pitch at half-time. Brendan Rodgers then has to look at it in a different way. Then he thinks to himself, then do I put Callum McGregor on at half-time if it goes 2-1? Now, maybe he might be thinking, I don't need to put Callum McGregor on. But I do believe when John said, I think I would be looking to make a change if I was
at half-time.
At half-time, at least one.
All right.
I think maybe Seamer.
Okay. More on this coming next. The second half lies ahead. Celtic are 2 up at half-time.
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Get your home ready for the market with help from their team of experts.
It's the Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Half-time at Ibrox. Rangers are 2 down to Celtic. Celtic scoring right at the beginning. 21 seconds, the record books now say. And it was Dyson Maida. Then a penalty. Matt O'Reilly scoring, what was that, when it went in? About 34 minutes. Rangers came close near the end of the first half. Silva. But it was Celtic who, you'd almost have thought, Chris, it was like a home game for Celtic. They just went for it. Would that be fair?
I think you're totally right, Paul. I think Celtic's press was excellent the first half. Obviously, we've got the second half. And it's one thing I'm a little bit surprised at, and one thing that probably come on will be really disappointed at was we could say about the Rangers team since come in is that physicality and that intensity. And they've probably not showed that, and Celtic have been better at that in that aspect than them.
Yeah, I just think Celtic have been better on the ball. Their wide men have made a huge difference. All right, Coon has not been as effective on that right-hand side as what Maeda's been. And I like Tavernier normally, but defensively today, Maeda's absolutely killed him. He's killed him every time he's had the ball. So many, lots of Celtic's good work in that first half has come from that left-hand side, from Maeda. It's one of those, Paul, where we started today talking about it, and I thought Rangers would come out and they'd really be on the front foot. They'd start to get crosses in, chances, try and get as many shots as you can and get up against Joe Hart's goal. They never did that. And for the reason they haven't done that is because, early on in the game, Maeda scores after 22, knocks the wind out of Rangers' fans. The players are stunned, and all of a sudden then Celtic are in front, they can relax. It's like Berkey, when you go in front, everybody seems to want the ball. The game becomes, a little bit easier because the team are confident. And then Rangers, rather than hitting back, they go 2 down. What Celtic have to do now is give Rangers no encouragement in this second half. They have to defend, really defend for their lives. This is a huge moment, Paul, in terms of the season.
It's the title at stake.
Paul, I could be sitting here, Rangers 2-0 up. It could be reversed for Rangers. And Berkey says, ex-Rangers, they just haven't been at it. They've given the ball away too sloppily.
So what's going to... Second half, Chris, what do you think now? Just before the break, you were saying maybe 2 changes, you and John. Would you do it now?
I would do it now. Yeah. I think something needs to change. I think he's only got 45 minutes. I think I would like to see the inclusion of Sima. John's maybe in the thinking of taking Dessers off and just putting Sima on and see what happens from there. But I don't know, I'd maybe just keeping Dessers on as an extra striker, or maybe his Silva off of Sima and takes Dessers off for that, or it might be Silva off and Sima on. No matter what, I think I would like to see Sima on the pitch. If there's one thing for sure, they'll need to start winning the 1v1 duels in the area of the pitch. I think Celtic are winning the battles in that, in the middle of the pitch, and defensive and attack, everything. And Celtic seem as if they've just fed off that pressure. As soon as they scored the goal, you've seen the pressure, and they've been hungry, and they've went for it. They've seen the blood, and they've went for it.
John, danger for Celtic the second half. 3 players have been booked already, so I'm thinking about keeping 11 players on the pitch. Coon, Alistair Johnson, Matt O'Reilly. So they have to. Would you maybe switch Coon, or would that be unfair? Just given that it's his first time at Ibrox, isn't it?
Well, you've got James Forrest, who's vast experience in these games. Coon's done okay, but still, I would rather see him use his pace and get round the outside of Sterling. He's got this habit of cutting inside all the time, Coon. But rather than using his pace, go round the outside and look to get balls in from those areas. And I'd be very surprised if we don't see Cantwell coming on from Rangers. Because what Cantwell gives you, he just gives that energy. He's all over the park. He's a little bit of a pest, if you like. And he can. That's how you go in the nicest possible way. And for me, I'd be surprised if Cantwell don't come on. And I'd be surprised as well through that second half if Coon doesn't lift his performance. You could possibly see Forrest come on.
Here come Celtic coming down the tunnel. I wouldn't expect any changes. Don't think you would either, John Hartson or Chris Burke.
They seem relaxed as well when they came out. At least if they came out a little bit early. Obviously, Clement is... and Clement could have made many changes in this game. I'm sure he'd be saying that in the dressing room. He could have took every single any one of them off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does make a couple of changes. As you can see here, the board's going up, so we'll get to find out. Paul,
stand by. Chris will tell us first. Well, maybe second. Seema's on. Yeah, we talked about him earlier. Big Abdallah Seema. He was the top scorer earlier on for Wright, which you called earlier on. So Seema, what a chance for him. Long-term injury. We hadn't seen him since January till last weekend.
He's a goal scorer as well.
Yeah.
He's a threat, and he looks as if he's playing off the right, just in front of Tavernier, and Scott Wright's off, and he's just replaced like for like here. That's what it looks like. He's made the one change so far. Come on, and hopefully for Rangers it makes an impact.
As the game is underway, Celtic kick off. The Rangers then playing left to right as we look from the old stand. Race for the title they've got up there in Sky, John, and my goodness, Celtic would go 4 points clear if this is the scoreline or anything like it at the end. And for Rangers, I mean, most people said whoever would win today is in the box seat. Clearly
in the box seat. Yeah, but Rangers can pull it back to 1-0 if they go and beat Dundee through the week, and it obviously makes that a little bit closer.
Sure.
But I don't think we're looking that far ahead. I just think it's about today's game. Clement didn't think either side if they win today. And listen, there's still 5 or 6 games to go in the league, so an awful lot more can happen.
Let's see what happens in the early stages. Celtic had scored by this time in the first half, 21 seconds. It's Rangers coming forward, tries to play it through to Silva. Silva's looking back there, Chris, and saying, hey, que pasa? Why didn't you...
Well, at least it's a bit better for Rangers. They've worked the high press. As you can see, they've went a wee bit more aggressive, and they're forcing Celtic to go long. And they've went a little bit man for man, locked Tomlinson on the side of the pitch, and you can see it's worked there again. Rangers picked the ball up for Goldson in his own half.
If you're just tuning in, Rangers are Butland, Tavernier, Goldson, Suter and Sterling, Lundstrom, Diamandi and Lawrence. Wright was on, he went off at half time, and of course it's Abdallah Seema, Silva and Dessers. Celtic 2 up, they start as they did at the beginning. Hart, Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales and Taylor. Tomoki Owata in for Conor McGregor, O'Reilly and Hatate, Kuhn, Maeda and Kyogo. And the scorers were Maeda in 21 seconds, and then the penalty taken by Matt O'Reilly. Celtic coming forward, 46.5 minutes gone down the right. There's going to be a throw-in to Celtic.
Celtic are playing better football than Rangers at this moment in time, John?
Yeah, Celtic, what they do, they're not hoofing it from the back. They're very confident, you know, they can play out from the back. Plenty of people that want the ball. The way they switched that then from almost Taylor at left back, they played through the middle of the park.
They've won a corner.
And all of a sudden, Johnson's away down that right-hand side. That's what they're doing better today.
Scales in the box, Carter Vickers in the box. Rangers have the superior physical, height-wise, but Celtic have their big men up there. Kuhn is just for a short one.
You can see the Celtic are playing with the wind in the second half.
So it's played to Kuhn, to O'Reilly, to Hatate. What a shot from Hatate. A good, solid save by Jack Butland.
Great strike.
Who's been
Great
watched
strike.
by...
Celtic decide to play it short. Hatate on the edge of the box hits it really, really well, but straight at Butland, who was very calm and he got control of the ball.
Hatate was unlucky with that against Livingston. He had a few shots edge of the box, and again he was unlucky there, and Butland did well to hold on to that.
Chris, as you said, Celtic are playing well, aren't they? You just see that the combination work there. Maeda's lost the ball, he'd slipped, but so far it's been working for Celtic. Vital time for Rangers, 2 goals down, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Paul Cooney with John Hartson and Chris Burke.
I'm sure you've played in many games, John, where you just can't get a control of the game. You just can't. It's hard, it's so difficult. As much
and the
as
wind
you want
doesn't help, does it?
As much as you want to take control of an old firm game, it's just the other team, for whatever reason, have just got the better of you. And at this moment in time, Celtic have got the better of Rangers in probably every department. But we're hoping now that as the second half progresses, that Rangers are obviously trying to work that high press and maybe get chances from it, and hopefully exploit down the sides of the, especially Seema's side, for his pace.
I don't know about you, Berkey, but sometimes I feel it's probably better to play into the wind. You know, when you play with the wind, everything seems to be running away from you, if you like. But sometimes in the wind, it'll hold up a little bit for you.
You're right. Yeah, you're totally right.
Maeda, good tackle there, but the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into Rangers, well into the Celtic half. So Seema plays it back to his captain, Tavernier. Tavernier to Silva, edge of the box. He's got Lundstrom behind him, looking up for options. Diamandi is there, Diamandi at Ibrox. It's on Sky. We're watching it here on the Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Here comes Silva. He's got Alistair Johnson on him, but he's still on the ball, tries to play it in. It's just bobbing about at that far side. Nice wee flick from Lundstrom. Lundstrom, down goes Silva, but there was surely nothing in it. He'd be booked for that, I would imagine. I mean, we'll see a replay. He's gone down in the box. There looked to be nothing in the challenge.
I still think it was a penalty.
Poor ball there from Matt O'Reilly. That was a little bit unfamiliarly slack pass there. Let's see what happens. The Celtic player's gone down. No doubt we will see. It's going to be Carter Vickers and Celtic. I'll tell you, John, they wouldn't want to lose him. I'm not saying they will, but Carter Vickers.
No, but I think Beaton's got to take a little bit more. He's got to be more like that. That is just a complete dive.
Yeah.
You know, by Silva.
That should be a booking.
Well, there you go. You know, he's got to set the precedent and get his card out for that.
Yeah.
It's a clear dive. It's never ever a penalty in a million years.
And that makes it tough for the referees because, you know, if a player goes down, if it's a blue shirt and you're a Rangers fan, you're like, well, it should be something for Rangers. As Rangers now do come forward, Rangers trying to get the first goal for them. They're 2 goals down at the moment. 50 minutes have come and gone as Greg Taylor plays it forward to Maida, but it's picked up by James Tavernier. Steve's brother scored yesterday, so
celebration.
Same celebration. I saw that. Yeah,
the goal swing.
Indeed. John's there grimacing because it's a free kick to Rangers, but so far, it's come down the left. Chance for Rangers again to Silva. Silva's getting some of the ball now early in the second half. Gets round the player. He's gone down. Is that a penalty?
He's given a foul against him.
Yellow card this time.
Thinks it was a dive.
Oh, and Carter Vickers, don't get involved. Just let. That's a dive. Fabio Silva.
I said it 30 seconds ago, Paul.
Yep. Here we go. Let's see it again.
No, never. Never.
It probably doesn't help himself, Silva, from the previous. That's the problem. Whether VAR will look at that, I'd need to see it again because I've seen it obviously just from one eye.
VAR will look at it again.
Do you know what a good example of this is? None of the other Rangers players are claiming a penalty.
They've told him to move away. That's why the boss said, look, stop, just carry on. But here we are. We'll see it again. Is there anything in it
he's trying to get his foot away from the ball.
I think that
he sticks it out.
Chris, what do you think?
I think that may be a penalty.
Oh, Chris thinks a penalty.
I think Johnson's foot comes out and he tries to pull it back as quick as he...
There was one last night, I think, the English Premier League, even though the player got the ball, he got a touch on it, he still could go on.
To have a look.
It's gone to VAR. We knew this would happen, that it would go to VAR. It did for the penalty in the first half. It's going to happen again.
Listen, it's good play for Silva, a little bit better play.
Hold on a minute.
Waiting to see.
And Rangers have done well in the last couple of minutes, kept the ball in Celtic's half, played a couple extra passes in the final third, got into Rangers' box. Silva is in the left-hand side of the box. He chops Johnson.
He's going to VAR.
And for me, I do think it is a penalty. I know it's not maximum contact, but you could be talking about the handball. Minimum contact handball is a penalty.
Here's John Beaton going over.
It's interesting at first sight, John Beaton sees it as a foul.
Yep, so he's got a choice to make. Normally they go with VAR.
He sees it as a dive and he books Silva.
Sure. So, normally they go with VAR. Will he, on this occasion? John Beaton's been at the centre of controversy. He's
I must say, John Beaton has managed Silva well.
He has,
because he's obviously...
Although he should have booked him the time before.
I'm not sure if Johnson... This could be a penalty.
You think so?
I'm not sure if Johnson gets his foot out of the way quick enough.
He's quick to go down, Silva, but his contact.
So, we're waiting to see 53 minutes gone in the Old Firm derby. Is it a penalty for Rangers? Which would put them right back into the game. Which, the next goal you said would be crucial. John Beaton. Chris Sutton here saying he thinks
it's a penalty for me.
A dive. Chris Burke says John Hartson thought it was a dive. It looked like a dive. Right, here comes John Beaton making a crucial decision. And it's going to be a penalty. Penalty for Rangers. So, there's Alistair Johnson.
Yeah,
it certainly is. Okay.
We have 2 penalties in 53 minutes.
Yep.
Can Rangers get back into this game?
Yep. He rescinds the yellow card, obviously.
And now we books Johnson.
Yep. And he books Johnson, of course. But Johnson has already been booked, John.
Johnson has already been
booked.
So
Celtic would go down to 10 men, which is what I said was the thing to look out for.
When he got his yellow card, it was actually him showing that he's rescinding it from Silva.
He's rescinding Silva. He's not booking Alistair Johnson, is he? No, don't think so. Penalty, it's going to be James Tavernier, 131 goals, even into the record book. He overtook Graham Alexander the other day.
He does.
So is it going to be goal number 132?
I don't want to speak too early, but James Tavernier tends to, when it really, really matters, to step up when it delivers. So his team needs him just now. Fans need him to get him back into this game.
Absolutely, Rangers.
And he's missed his last two, Tavernier.
This is a big penalty.
Here we go. 55 minutes now on the clock. James Tavernier up against Joe Hart. It falls silent. So he takes that shuffle that he does. Shoots, scores. 2-1. Rangers back in the game.
Two great penalties in this game. One dinked Pennicat, and what a finish for Tavernier in a pressure moment. He goes to Joe Hart's right hand side, right in the top corner. No mistake, and no keeper saving that.
John Hartson.
Great penalty, wonderful penalty. And looking at it now again, I think Alistair Johnson, there was contact, and for me, that was a penalty. He put his foot out, made contact with Silva's knee. Silva goes down naturally, as you would if you feel any contact. Initially, I was with John Beaton, who gave Silva the yellow card for a dive.
Celtic coming up the other end on the attack, Coon, but it's too much on it. Kyogo did a 1-2 with him. Sorry, John.
But you can clearly see, you slow it right down, and there's definitely contact there from Johnson on Silva. And for me, it was the right decision. It was a penalty.
Big moment for this game, big moment for Rangers. And the Rangers fans, Chris, they must be saying, "Whoa,
what
hallelujah."
A game we've got in our hands here, isn't it, Paul? What a game. What an advert for Scottish football as well. It's fantastic. We've got two penalties. We've had players booked. Celtic go 2-0 up away from home at Ibrox. Rangers have to respond. They've responded really, really well the second half. They've got a reward from it. Clement's made a substitution, that's helped. Silva looks as if he's getting back into the game. Now Rangers are on the attack.
Here's Silva, he's run 20, 30, 40 yards, plays it to Sima. A great chance for Rangers. Ball's in the back of the net.
Dessers
has scored.
Turns up.
It's 2-2.
This game, listen, the second post, that's what strikers are all there for, aren't they? Fantastic. Great counter-attack from Rangers. Silva drives into the space in the middle of the pitch. Sima on the right-hand side makes that aggressive run. He probably could have done better from first time, but gets a second chance to put it across the face of goal. It's not cleared, and Dessers pops in with the goal in the second post. Celtic now, albeit, are now looking for a foul on Awata, I think it is, so it might get turned back.
Well, let's see what happens, John. Silva did so well there. Then we're just looking at the ball.
It's that urgency, Paul, in the second half from Rangers. They get the penalty. Silva drives forward about 40 yards. No pressure. Sima just helps it back into the box. And it's Dessers with a tap in. But, credit the Rangers. They've come out in the second half with a real purpose. They've certainly got back into this game. But there could be a VAR decision here, whether Lawrence fouls Iwata. I thought it was a foul.
John Beaton's gone.
What John Beaton thinks.
He's gone to see VAR again. And we're going to see. There's going to be a foul.
That's going to get rescinded.
It's a foul. He just hits. You can see it there.
Tom Lawrence on the Wata.
Kicks him in his knees, and the Wata goes over.
Okay, just waiting to see though. Dessers, it would have been.
No matter if this is a goal or not, that's giving encouragement for Rangers. Real encouragement.
Here we go. Here's the decision. What's he saying? So. No, I think it's a free kick. Yep. So no goal to Rangers. It's a free kick. I think the fans were confused at first as well, because of course they point. Whether or not they're pointing. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, they've just told the manager. So it's still 2-1 to Celtic.
What a game, end to end.
Dessers goal. So we need to take that off the scoreboard here.
I'll tell you what. As much as we complain about VAR, that's the last two decisions have been correct with VAR.
You reckon?
Map
Yeah, you did call. You did. And then John saw it as well.
I don't mind VAR now.
Sure. Right, we better write this down though. So no, it's that VAR says no goal. So because that was 2 goals in 80 seconds or so. The police are down. Let's hope there's not trouble here. It's at the Celtic dugout. Don't know what's happened. I think, I'm not going to speculate, but John Kennedy seemed to say to a policeman there, it's okay.
It's great to see to talk about the goal. Dessers does excellent. He blocks Taylor's run out to Sima, which allows Sima to try and get the cross in, and then he ends up in the second post for the tap in. So it's great striker play, John.
It was actually good from Dessers, who we thought didn't do a lot in the first half, might be taken off. Clement stuck with him, but if anything, that could be a warning sign for Celtic that nothing's won until the 90th minute and the referee blows for full time. So Celtic need to get back into this game. Rangers controlling the second half so far.
Celtic are always a threat in the counter-attack, though. They've got that pace in the side, haven't they, John? You know, as much as Celtic have that
But
threat.
they don't seem to have got out in the second half like they did in the first half.
So what was the verdict on that last one there? It was the tackle.
Lawrence on Iwata.
Lawrence on Iwata. Thank you, John. Just trying to watch to see what's happening here, there, and everywhere on the Great Football Show. It is, yeah. What day are we? Where are we?
I got to say, that second goal there, which was disallowed, the fans, the stadium just erupted. Absolutely erupted.
Yeah. So we're just listening out to find out what happened there down at the dugout. The police were at the Celtic dugout. I don't know if something's happened anyway.
Seema's made a huge difference in this game.
Yes, hasn't he?
A huge difference. You see Greg Taylor getting attracted to Seema, double movement. Lundstrom finds the space, and now Seema gets down the side, puts a crossing, still a little bit too heavy, but Rangers still on the ascendancy here, Paul.
They've had much more of the ball in 15 minutes than they had the whole of the first half, haven't they, Rangers? Yet they're on the attack again, and it was Seema at the heart of it. It's now with Tavernier. Tries to thread it through to Lundstrom. It comes off Hattati.
Do you know what I'm thinking now,
What are you
Paul?
thinking, John?
I'm thinking McGregor.
Are you?
I'm thinking McGregor to come on, calm things down a little bit, get hold of the ball.
Yeah.
It gives the players a huge lift if someone, you know, the captain can come on. We know he can control that midfield. You know, calm.
Because Hattati played 65 minutes last week, or would he take Iwata? No, he'd keep Iwata on, wouldn't he? Would it be for Hattati maybe, who's just back from injury? Let's watch as Celtic come forward. Maeda in a tussle again with Tavernier. Tavernier winning it this time. Plays it down the right for Seema, but it's collected by Scales. Scales to Iwata, but it didn't happen this way in the first half. He plays it into touch.
That's what Celtic were doing. It was the full-back into the central midfield player and a ball clipped down the side, and this time Rangers have worked the press well, where he's really struggling to play that clip ball down the side, and Celtic Rangers get a throw out it.
That's a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be a foul for Celtic. It's John Hartson and Chris Burke on top form, both of you. What's going to happen?
You might make
You're
a
on
good
top
point,
form yourself, Paul.
Me? Thank you. Listen, this is the kind of game
about in this game.
Well, there is.
Yeah, I think you make a good point about Hitachi. You know, you've got McGregor on the bench, you've got Bernardo as well that can come on. Scored in the last game against Rangers, of course. But Hitachi, he got a knock there. Hasn't played an awful lot of football coming into the game. He just looks a little bit leggy in the second half. But maybe McGregor will come on for him.
Cal McGregor. The manager has got his arm around him. It looks as though, John Hartson, you called it right here in Go Radio. The skipper is coming on for Celtic.
I don't think it was a fantastic call. I think it was just a natural call.
Take the
call.
Take the song of praise. And
He's listening to you. Rogers is listening to you, John.
Is that Seema's been injured as well?
Yeah, no, so Seema's down there. That's a worry if he can't finish the game here, because he's made a huge impact in the space of 15 minutes. So hopefully he's okay. It was that challenge with Iwata.
Let's hope he's back.
I think he's back on. He's on.
Yeah,
we did say before the game that the substitutions will be crucial in this game. They'll make a big difference.
And so far, you're right, John, what you've said.
This could be one that goes all the way as it did with Chelsea and Man United the other night. 11 minutes, and some people switched off, went to bed thinking Man United had won. And of course Chelsea 2 goals deep into stoppage time. Right, it's Rangers 1, Celtic 2. 63 minutes have gone as the ball's played to Connor Goldson. He heads it forward to Cyril Dessers. Dessers to Lundstrom. Lundstrom plays it back to the head bandage. John Souttar took a knock in the first half. Souttar, good run, beats 1, beats 2 players. Good tackle there by Alistair Johnson for Hattati. Hattati plays it to Maeda. Maeda in the race with James Tavernier. James Tavernier, though, plays it back to under scrutiny keeper, because the England manager is in the stand. Gareth Southgate getting his squad for the Euros. But here come Rangers down the right. Seema, who's there? Dessers calls for the ball. Comes off of Taylor, but it's still with Rangers. Tom Lawrence lobs it to the far post, but too much on it.
No, it's unlucky. He's good run from Seema. Turned the Celtic defence. He's given Rangers a big out this second half with his willingness to go behind.
Double sub coming from your old team. Is that Yang?
It's Yang and McGregor.
So,
and I'm guessing it will be Coon, and it will be Hattati.
Okay.
I'm guessing, Paul.
Yeah,
right on one.
Yep.
You'll be right on it too, John.
Hattati, we can see coming off, and we would imagine it will be Nicholas Coon, because also he's got John, have you got the walkie-talkie with... Come on, you get the walkie-talkie.
I've been watching Celtic a long time now, Paul.
Did you ever score? 100 odd goals. You'll be right across the studio,
But
Chris.
Tavernier's got more than me.
Well, that's true. Chris.
Did you take the penalties? Or? Did you?
You said that, not me.
So, wow, this is some game. Rangers made the sub at half-time. Seema coming on for Scott Wright. There's Yang coming
Two
on.
substitutions, it's fresh legs. Especially the way Celtic have started in this second half. Rangers been well on top.
Chris, if you're Rangers, you let Callum McGregor know he's in a game here.
He's going to have to. They're going to have to test his fitness.
So,
But listen, it's made Celtic probably a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And it's a time that is really needed because Celtic are under a bit of pressure here since the second half.
Celtic haven't cleared their lines there, and it's going to be a throw-in to Rangers. And midway inside the Celtic half, the sunshine is out in the south side of Glasgow. We're here in the Gorbals, and just a couple of miles away, Govan, where it's Rangers trailing 2-1 to Celtic. As Rangers now on the ball. They have seen much more possession in the second half. What will happen now with Callum McGregor on? But here comes Diamande, plays it out to the right to Seema. Tackled.
Good play.
Foul. It's going to be...
That's good play from Rangers.
Yeah.
That goes from centre back to Diamande, who comes into that little pocket in the midfield area, and he gives great time under pressure to just beat the midfielder and punches it quickly out to Seema, and Seema great trickery to beat Taylor, and Rangers get a free kick. A
chance for Tavernier now to whip that ball like he normally does in between. You know, Joe Hart can't quite get the defenders are backing into the goalkeeper. You know, Tavernier normally swings his in with ideal perfection.
Goes to the head of Silva, who just heads it on, looking to bring in Lundstrom, but Celtic clear only as far as Diamande, who lobs it forward. It's going to go out of play. It's going to be a goal kick. And breathe.
Give your tail. That's what I was ready to say. Give you a wee chance to breathe there, Paul.
And breathe. How long have we played? 66 minutes, Chris Burke?
Yeah, Rangers what they've done also is they've kept the ball in Celtic's half and they've picked up the seconds again and then going to start that attack again, and they've done it really well and it's worked for them. Now Celtic are obviously kicking out from goal kicks to try and go a bit longer, but Rangers seem to be picking up the seconds now, more so than they did the first half, and something had to change. They had to play better than what they did the first half, Paul, and they have.
Would Rangers take the draw, Chris? I think I know you're going to say no. With so much time to go, they want to win. I'm going to ask John a similar question. Would you take a draw?
I would just take them. I would take the draw because you're down 2-1 against a good team with probably 25 minutes to go, 30 minutes to go.
Down 2-0 at half time.
Yeah,
you
would
certainly take the draw. But on the back of Rangers, right, hitting back early on in the second half, they may feel now if they get an equaliser, they may feel they could go on and get a winner because they've got a bit of momentum now, Paul.
John, Celtic not clearing their lines there. They were knocking it around the back four, which the Celtic fans don't like.
Well, it was a foul.
Foul?
It was a foul. I think he thought about leaving it go, but
who's it for?
Yang, yeah. It's a foul
against Yang. Okay. Yang's first touch of the ball.
Foul.
Chris, is a foul.
Chris Barshak's foul.
Yeah, it was a foul.
He did clip the Rangers player.
Well,
So
it's another set play for Tavernier in a dangerous area. We all know, as John said, the deliveries.
Midway inside the
testing the defence of Celtic.
Okay. All the big men are up there. In fact, you could throw a blanket almost over everyone, just on the edge of the box, just outside Celtic's box. Ball whipped in. John said too much. Cannons off, but it's gone by for, is it a corner kick or is it going to be a goal kick?
That's a chance.
Lawrence was there.
That is a chance. Lawrence versus Vickers there. It's a great in-swinger for Tavernier. Maybe the wind stops it there.
I think Carter Vickers gets the clearance, but it just hits Lawrence. It goes over the...
So it's a goal kick.
It's a goal kick.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the box.
Brilliant ball.
Hart can't come from it.
I thought he overhit it initially.
Okay.
And I think Vickers gets the first contact that hits off Lawrence and goes
out.
Adam
Dar's coming on for Kyogo. Again, it can only be fresh legs. It can only be running in behind.
Kyogo, how's he done for you, John?
He's done okay. I thought his hold-up play, he hasn't had an awful lot of chances, has he? Maybe one in the first half. He was a half chance. But he just gives them something different.
And Chris going to be a substitution. Silva is going off, and Cantwell coming on, and Matondo.
That looks like for me. Matondo off the left probably, and Cantwell in between the lines in replace of Lawrence. It's just whether the Seema go to the left and Matondo go to the right. I'd have to wait and see until I've seen this this video here. But no, listen, that's the managers now making substitutes to try and break up the play, to maybe go a bit longer, Celtic to hit Ida, to play in Rangers half, and then obviously Rangers using that creativity and the with Cantwell hopefully creating some, and with Matondo's pace as well and trickery.
Coming up to the 70th minute, the ball's played all the way back to Jack Butland. He tries to clear, sort of stumbled there, so it's going to be a throw-in for Celtic.
I can see the Cantwell change, but maybe the Silver I'm not quite sure on, because he started well in the second half. He won the penalty as well.
Maybe injured, John? Maybe
possibly.
He was down a few times. Yeah. OK, let's see what happens here. Throw-in to Celtic, the far side. It's going to be taken by Alistair Johnson, I would imagine. So, in the sunshine, the ball played forward, looking for the head of Ida. Celtic not nearly as sharp as they were in the first half, John. Would that be fair?
Yeah, but I think in all fairness, you have to give Rangers a lot of credit. The way they've come out, Paul, they've come out with a real urgency in the second half, which they didn't have in the first half. Obviously, Clement's had a strong word at half-time and said, look, if we want to stay in this title race, we've got to be, we've got to be better in the second half. They have been, in all fairness.
Chris, do you think he could be quite tough? I would imagine he could be. Philippe Clement, I think he would be.
Well, I think that's what he betrays when you hear him talk. He has that presence about him where he loves his players, but he's also got that edge where he can give that little element of fear to make sure that they have to do the job properly, and if they're not doing it right, he'll let them know.
Another yellow card, John.
Maeda clipped Tavernier there and got nothing for it. But what happened was Tavernier tried to take it quickly and Maeda stood in front of the ball. That's what the booking was for, not the extra foul.
Which is silly, isn't it? So Celtic,
just move back.
Johnson, O'Reilly and Maeda. OK, Coon is now off, but Celtic have three players on the pitch who've been booked. Any Rangers bookings so far from Mr. Beaton?
Well, Silva was booked, but then got rescinded.
Oh, that's right, it was. Well done. Chris, you're good at this.
When the ball goes out to play and stuff, and this is where Celtic need to be clever.
OK.
They need to play the dark arts, they call it, don't they? Take their time on set pieces. And
something's cooking here, isn't it? There's Gordon Ramsay there. Of course, he said he played at Rangers at one point, although I was at a night once when Ali questioned that. But it was,
he's not got a restaurant in Ibrox.
Oh, he has indeed. Yes, he has. Yeah, he's a great cook, great chef. You'll have him round, no doubt, at your place at the Burke Mansion. So
I was hoping he was coming in here. It's a sandwich platter, isn't it?
Indeed. Oh, well done. That's right, Derek. And Mark Hall. If Rangers win, there's a
sandwich platter.
A sandwich platter. Here comes Robbie
Matondo. Coming in for it.
Yeah. Up over the halfway line. I found a listener, Chris Burke. Thank you. Actually, lots of people during the week were telling us they enjoy the programming. I've referred them to our specialist help. So, John, what's happening? 2-1. Celtic still.
Yang's got to do better. The ball come into Yang. He doesn't know what's behind him. He give the ball away. Great play from O'Reilly over on that right-hand side, and he just won a foul. So Celtic are in possession.
So the ball with their captain, Callum McGregor, plays it back, but Dessers actually got there first, and it's going to be a throw-in for Rangers.
Seems like a game of two halves,
doesn't it?
But I don't know if that's wind assisted. We don't know. It looks as if still it could be difficult with that wind, the way it's swollen. But Rangers definitely have upped their game this second half.
James, any word from Sean Batty about how the wind is blowing as Rangers come forward again? It's not quite wave after wave of attack, but they are getting the bulk of the possession in the second half. John Suter forward to Diamonde, plays it out to the right to Cantwell, seeing him for the first time since he came on. Cantwell, he's got two players in and plays it back, dink forward, chance there, headed away by Alistair Johnson. That was a good opportunity, Chris.
That's good play, John, isn't it?
Yep.
It was good play as well really from Cantwell. I said Cantwell can do that. He drives into the box, into the Celtic box with a bit of trickery about him.
And he doesn't panic either.
No. He
didn't panic. He played it to Tavernier. Tavernier then clips it to the second post, where it's a great clearance. I think it was Vickers that cleared it away. But Rangers again are probing, trying to get that equaliser.
Yang's gone down.
Just a clash of heads, Yang and Diamande. But I think the protocols are that if somebody gets a head injury or the clash of heads, straight away John Beaton does well. He stops the play.
Guys, this could be the kiss of death. But in these games, they both compete. Obviously, they do big time, but it's never a dirty game these days, is it?
No, I think one of the reasons for that is because they're all a bit cautious now. If you go in too strong and too physically aggressive, then
you get caught out.
Absolutely.
There's more than one referee. There's televisions.
Of course. Neil McCann was telling us the night of a game, so it was you against Craig Moore, Celtic Rangers, and he said, you smashed Craig Moore. He got back up, didn't complain, and then he smashed you later in the game. Neither of you complained.
Yeah,
just
but
got on with it.
my smash was a better smash on him than he was on me.
My dad's bigger than... Anyway.
I get on great with Craig.
Oh, it's brilliant. You two are a good double act.
We love it on here,
Good double act. So, ball's played into the box. Chance for Celtic. It's played there for Yang.
Defending.
But it was good defending. And it's cleared. John, that was a chance.
Brilliant defending. Again, it was a ball in from the left. Yang tried to hit it first time. It was great defending. Rangers got back. Not quite sure who it was.
The wind's playing a factor here, isn't it? For sure. As Celtic come forward again now, Ida to O'Reilly, but it's a misplaced pass. Tried to get Yang, but it's picked up by John Souttar. Souttar's come onto the game in the second half. But O'Reilly to Iwata.
Yeah, someone's down.
So, yeah, just waiting to see. Is it Yang again? He's been
it's
down
a
more
foul
than...
now for Celtic.
Okay.
So they can settle now and obviously get the physio on to see what...
a Rangers player down as well. We'll see it here. We're just seeing Ida. Left-footed ball looking in for Yang, but it was played back. He just missed out. Who's injured there, Chris? Is that Diamande? Yeah.
What's the Diamande?
I think so.
Or is it Sterling?
Just we'll see in the close-up in a moment or two. But Rangers player is down. There's only 15 minutes left in the derby.
Huge 15 minutes, you know, in terms of the season. This can decide an awful lot.
Yep. Going to be a change for Rangers as well. Just waiting to see who is coming on. We'll find out in just a few moments.
I think Dowell's coming on.
Ah, right, okay. We don't see much of Kieran Dowell, do we?
No. I don't know what Clement's thinking is here. But both teams have actually exploited down the side of each other, which has resulted in the result of the game, but the goals.
Well, you just summed it up perfectly well. It's been a game of 2 halves, isn't it? You know, Celtic dominated the first half. Could have been gone in more than 2-0 up, and Rangers could well be on level terms by now in the second half. Well, they've come out with a real purpose. I have to give them that.
You sure? You're absolutely right. Rangers, they pulled one back in 55 minutes, the James Tavernier penalty, and then 80 seconds later.
I actually agree with John. Sorry to interrupt, Paul, but I do think Silva was coming onto the game.
Yeah,
me too. I thought so.
Maybe it is an injury, or maybe it was already planned that he's going to put Matondo on and Sima on, but sometimes you have to have a feeling of the game where you thought
he certainly looked a threat in the second half.
He was really influencing the game.
Yeah.
John Sterling getting treatment there, and we're just waiting to see is he going to go off and to be replaced by Kieran Dowell?
Have to wait and see, Paul.
So
it looks like Dowell's coming on.
Looks like it.
Clement does.
Yep. So 77 minutes gone as.
This looks like Diamande's coming off.
Yeah, so
and Dowell's coming on. Right. And I think Sterling will be fine.
Off, and on comes Kieran Dowell. Yeah, not seen much of him, John, because of injury this season. Former Norwich City player, highly rated. As Celtic come forward, short one taken to Callum McGregor. McGregor on the ball. We haven't seen much of him. He's been on for about 10 minutes or so, but will he affect things in the final 13 minutes of the Old Firm derby, as Rangers managed to clear their lines, but it's kind of bobbing about in the Rangers half. Here comes Rangers up over the halfway line. Is that Kieran Dowell?
It's
Dowell. Who's with him? He good run there by Sima. Sima just too much on it. I think it's gone out of play. Yeah, that was just inches out.
Again, the right-hand side is such a threat at this moment in time.
I don't know how Dowell is allowed to run about 50, 60 yards through the middle of the defence, through the midfield of Celtic without anybody trying to chase him back. Giving us far too much space there, tried to slide in Sima, and he just overhit the ball slightly for a Celtic goal kick.
It's just sometimes the way Celtic play with their 2 number 8s go so high and wide that it's just McGregor there to marshal that middle of the pitch, but Rangers are exploiting Maeda's side and Taylor's side really well, and Dowell was really unlucky playing it in between Taylor and the centre back, and Sima was unlucky just a little bit less off it, and maybe they've been in for a cutback.
Celtic coming forward. Maeda tries to lose Connor Goldson. Goldson shows his experience. The ball goes out of play. It's going to be a goal kick to Rangers. 78, nearly 79 minutes gone in the derby. Rangers 1, Celtic 2. As Jack Butland thumps it up over the halfway line. John, would you make any changes? I think just now you're just all eyes on this. You can't look away for a minute.
No, Paul, that's Yang, Ida, McGregor, they've all come on for Celtic. That's brilliant from Ida.
Does well, doesn't he?
Yeah, just gets through before Goldson. Ida's through on the left-hand side.
Who's in the middle?
Just needs to put a decent ball in.
What a chance for Ida.
Oh,
Plays it forward, looking for Yang. Should have had a crack
Celtic players
himself.
are queuing up to put it in. Ida goes on his own.
And a break on for Rangers. Kieran Dowell. Celtic had 3 men in the box. Rangers now up over the halfway line. 79.5 minutes. They're 2-1 down. The title is at stake. Nothing's decided today, but it would be massive if Celtic win it. If Rangers claw it back to 2-2, here's Rangers, could be a chance. Good strike, Matondo there.
That was far too easy, though. That was far too easy.
Great block for Vickers, that.
Not a Celtic player getting close. He does the first thing brilliantly. He nicks it off Goldson's toe, but then Celtic players are lining up Paul for the pass. But he just seemed to go on his own. Came to nothing.
Seemed to get stuck. He seemed to get stuck what to do. He was wanting to have a shot. It was still blocked off. Whether they cut back on, but he caught in between two minds when he was attacking inside the box, and nothing really happened from it. Then Rangers get a counter attack, and Matondo comes inside to get a shot away, but Vickers blocks it well.
Rangers winning the midfield battle of the second half, Chris.
Well, again,
it's
a game of two halves, Paul.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a game of two halves, but I think there's a goal in this game, whether it's Rangers or Celtic. Celtic will be a threat in that transition, and Rangers look as if they're having to go for something here. And the longer the game goes, they're going to be more exposed.
Rangers looked more energetic in the second half, certainly, especially in the last 10 minutes or so. I know Idar's gone through, but they look as if they got a little bit more energy about them.
Okay. As Todd Cantwell tries to get the ball past Greg Taylor, comes off Taylor. The multi-ball system is being used to great purpose, Chris, so it's going to be a throw into Rangers. Cantwell back to Lundstrom, the former Sheffield United player who's in the last year of his contract. Here comes Paolo Bernardo, who of course has scored in an Old Firm derby, and he's coming on for Matt O'Reilly. So I guess it's the fresh legs that you said about Celtic. Maybe not
absolutely
quite. But look at that penalty.
Yeah, it's a brilliant penalty. It's so clever and confident, really. Great penalty from Matt O'Reilly. Put Celtic 2-0 up. But he's going off now, and Celtic a little bit playing on defensively. And Bernardo obviously can give you that bit more energy in the middle of the park, where Celtic are struggling to get hold of the ball right now.
Okay, 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. As we have the telly going on auto standby, which James will come and help us any second now. So
live radio,
yeah, indeed. So what you're thinking? So Bernardo is
Bernardo's
very capable.
On. Yes, listen, it's more energy in the middle of the park, is what John said. I think they've put so much effort into the game in the middle of the pitch for both teams that they've had to freshen things up. So far it's worked for Rodgers. He's used the subs well, and also I must say Clement has used the subs well, especially putting Simo on that right hand side of the pitch and taking right off at half time where it's worked. But listen, Rangers are still down by 1 goal.
Rangers come forward. It was a free kick there into the box, but it's high, it's wide, and Lundstrom could have been in the score sheet, but
he's played quite well, Lundstrom, I think,
like him,
today.
John,
He's held the midfield, especially in the second half. You know, he gets it. You know, he does quite a lot of work with the ball that goes a little bit unrecognised.
For sure. Nervy minutes for both sides. I'm looking at Chris Burke, the former Rangers star, John Hartson, Celtic legend, as the ball is thumped up into the Rangers half. And the ball played all the way back to Jack Butland, who picks it up and looks... So, 7 minutes.
Bernardo there is closing down, and he gets to the edge of the box and he thinks, no, I'm not going to go. Yeah, just get back in. That's what he's got to get goal siding and get back into shape for Celtic.
Don't do a Man United the other night, John. Is that what you're saying? You have to watch it. It's Celtic at their best, though, when they're in possession and on attack, which they are at the moment up against a Rangers side, revived in the second half after a blistering start by Celtic. The ball's played all the way back to Butland, and he thumps it up over the halfway line. The ball just bobbing about, nobody getting a foot in the ball, but John Souttar does, looks up, plays it out to the left, trying to bring Rabbi Matondo into play, and he plays it back to Souttar. Souttar forward to Lundstrom, getting a grip in that midfield. Lundstrom plays it forward, comes off of Yang's going to be a throw in at the far side. So 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage. There'll be what, 4 or 5 minutes? 10 minutes, Craig? Chris?
4 or 5, I'd say. I'll take 15 if you want.
Let's watch as Rangers come forward. Dessers plays it to Dowell. Dowell's looked lively, hasn't he? But he plays it out to the left to Matondo. Matondo dinks it into the box, headed away by Scales to Paulo Bernardo, the Portuguese under-21 captain. Did well, John, didn't he, to clear it? See is there an option up front?
Got to clear that. Yeah. They can't be playing, bitty passes around their own 18-yard box. If it has to go in this situation, they have to clear the ball.
Ida couldn't get to it in time, but the ball's gone all the way back to the other end of the ground, the Copeland Road, isn't it?
The longer the game goes, it looks as if Ida's getting more isolated. That's a 4-5-1 there that Celtic go down, get themselves back into, with just leaving Ida up top there for that longer pass. As you can see, he done well against Goldson and should have done a bit better in the final product, but the longer the game goes, it could begin to get more nervy for Celtic, because Rangers are obviously pushing and are going to have to throw caution to the wind with an extra 1 or 2 players at the top end, and then does that expose Rangers for the counter-attack for Celtic to then break up. So listen, I still think there could be a goal in this game, Paul. What a game so far, I must say, what a game.
Rangers 3 shots on target, Celtic 2, Celtic 2-1 up, both 1 on target, so it's Rangers now coming forward, up over the halfway line. The ball threaded through to Dessers. Dessers goes for the 1-2 with Cantwell, but it's blocked by Celtic. Callum McGregor tries to play it, but it's a poor pass. It's picked up, edge of the box. Rangers coming forward in numbers. Chance, shot, headed away, falls for Sima. Strikes a goal. Rangers have scored. 2-2.
That's Callum McGregor, obviously, and tries to play a pass to the side of the pitch, and he loses the ball, and it's a great interception with Dejon Sterling. He feeds the ball to Matondo on the left-hand side. He puts the cross in. It's not cleared well enough to the edge of the box, and Sima comes to the opposite side, just coming round the edge of the box, and has a shot at goal. And I don't know if it just takes a deflection, Paul, but Sima does well to keep it down. It does look as if he hits into the ground, and it takes a deflection and goes in. A small deflection is that, but it's Sima's goal. Terrific, and I must say, Rangers deserve this. What a game so far. Celtic first half were excellent, Rangers second half excellent, and it's level pegging with about 4 minutes on the clock to go plus stoppage time.
Exactly, plus stoppage.
Callum, Celtic's best player, gave the ball away, tries a sideways pass across the middle of the pitch. It's intercepted, Rangers break, and they get the equaliser, but that's the last thing you'd expect from Callum McGregor, probably the best passer in the Celtic team.
Here comes Paulo Bernardo for Celtic, plays it through to Ida. He's in the box. Ida, chance for Ida.
Oh my God!
Adam
Ida's
Ida
got the winner. Oh, not quite the winner yet, but what a goal!
It's extraordinary. 87 minutes, the ball's played through. Bernardo broke forward, saw Ida in the box. He had 2 men round him, dragged it to his right, and he thudded it past Jack Butland. Chris Burke, can you believe it? 2 goals in 60 seconds.
What a game this is. Listen, you will be, I was going to say tearing your hair out if your foot come on, but how annoyed would you be after scoring and doing so well to get back into the game? They take kick-off and they literally score from it. What a finish for Ida. Obviously we didn't praise him enough on the one that he should have done better with, but I'll tell you what, he made no mistake there. And strikers do it so well, John, where they can hit it through the legs of the defender. Butland sees it late, in at the near post, and Celtic are back winning the game at 3-2.
You could arguably say Sucher and Surley's got to defend it better. Ida's got in between the two of them, turned quickly, got the shot away. Butland had no chance, but Bernardo again, what Lundstrom has been doing for Rangers, Bernardo's doing it when he came on, driving forward, and what an opportunity, Celtic, 2 minutes on the clock, probably playing another 6 or 7 minutes of added time, but I apologise for saying that's the winner, because there's still plenty of time left in this game.
But I'll tell you what, John, you said it. How many times the subs have impacted this game?
Massive impact, yeah. But there, I'm thinking Rangers will definitely see this out. And it'll be a 2-2 draw, but Celtic, credit to them, spirit, character, go back up the pitch.
It's a great Celtic pass. Again. It's a great pass from Bernardo into his feet. Yeah. If he plays into space, he's not getting there. Ida, great body shape, in between the centre backs, great touch, great bit of footwork, and a great finish. But Rangers will be kicking themselves.
For sure.
Kicking themselves.
Because psychologically, Chris, they were on the charge.
They were. So it'll be interesting to see how the game pans out now.
Could be another goal.
Well, we did say there was going to be another goal in the game, but time's running out now.
3-2 Celtic. We've played 89 minutes. It's Rangers coming forward. Sima just outside the box. He plays it forward looking for Cantwell, but the ball's cleared by Iwata. Only as far as Tavernier. Tavernier now to Cantwell. The break is on again for Rangers, headed away by Liam Scales. It's going to be a throw-in for Rangers. 10 yards from the goal line, so it's quickly taken, as you would expect. Cantwell, he's got Maeda on him, but it's still Cantwell, some good trickery. Foul's going to be a throw-in, a free kick to Rangers.
Position,
Tavernier, yep, could whip it in. So right-hand side, John Hartson.
This is when you need Tavernier.
What an opportunity for Tavernier to swing this ball in right in front of Joe Hart with the quality that Tavernier has.
The 90th minute of play. Connor Goldson's coming into the box. Here it comes. Right footed, headed away.
Was that a corner?
So it's going to be a corner kick. Connor Goldson, or maybe not. Chris, it looks as though he's not
I
getting
thought
a
it was a
decision.
corner. We'll see it then.
No, sure. Yep. Here it comes again. Just to tell the
Liam Scales almost jumps with Golson and just stops him from getting that perfect. I think it actually did go out for a corner.
8 minutes have been added. Eight.
I did ask for 15.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's because there's been quite a few. There's a penalty one there. There's been quite a few substitutions.
It's good that it's 8 minutes because it's an exciting game.
There's the Rangers end there. Chris Burke, as you would expect, and Celtic being ahead may have. These days, the modern game, you often end up with 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Substitution into the equation as well, Paul.
Of course, yeah. So it's Celtic actually pressing their 3-2 up at the moment, and it's Celtic in the box. Chance for Celtic. Is that Yang on the ball? Still challenging there with Sterling. Has won a throw-in, or is it the linesman's giving it to Rangers? Sterling there.
It's credit to Rida as well, though, because since he's come to Celtic, he's got some really crucial goals for them. And obviously, he was left out today for Kyogo. But he's come on, showed a great attitude, and
he seems that sort of character.
Well, he got the all-important goal.
He does. He seems that sort of character because it's hard for a striker to come in and out of the cold and then perform and to score goals, and he's done that. 7
minutes remaining of injury time. There's 8 added on. He has. He's come Rangers, John, coming forward midway inside the Celtic half, sweeps it out to the left, but that's a good interception. Celtic clearing along the touchline, the far side. John Sutter has done well. Rangers coming down the left-hand side as thank you. Great. The lights going on for you guys for the social media where people love to give their reaction. John, what are you noticing there?
6 minutes on the clock. Alistair Johnson does really well down that left-hand side. He's competing, he's battling. Celtic have a goal kick. And it just takes a bit of pressure off them because Rangers has been relentless in this second half in terms of Rangers getting back in this game.
Just showing you there in the cameras that Davy Hay, the former Celtic player and manager, alongside Tom Boyd, who of course is a former captain of Celtic, former Chelsea and former Motherwell as well, and he won everywhere. Right, Rangers 3-2 down, but coming forward, 3rd minute, good play down the left. Still Rangers. Cantwell into the box. He's got Carter Vickers with him. Still Cantwell. He's hard to dispossess. Lindstrom out to Matondo. Matondo, the left, into the box. Great strike from Matondo. It's a goal. It's 3-3.
What a finish.
Matondo.
That was coming from Matondo. He was trying to come inside a few times, but it's a cross or a shot. Obviously Vickers get one way get blocked, but what a finish. Dessers does unbelievable. A great knockdown header into the space of Cantwell, I think it is, and then into the space of Matondo. He comes inside and he fires it opposite side top corner. What a finish and what a game this is, Paul. Absolutely. What a game, John.
Yeah, it is, but you've got to say there, it's a brilliant finish from Matondo, but you've got to show him down the line. You can't allow him to cut in on his favourite foot. I think it's Yang, lets him come inside, and it's a brilliant finish. Outstanding finish from Matondo. But from Celtic's point of view, Yang's got to show him down the line rather than cut inside like Matondo does. And he scores a brilliant goal.
I think you're right. Yang needs to show line, but also I think Johnson needs to push up as soon as he comes inside. And what Matondo's did, he's used Johnson's body to just curl it round him, his shoulder, his left-hand shoulder, and it's been right into the top corner.
Take nothing away from the goal. He's a wonder strike.
John, is there another goal in this? There's still 4 minutes, plus he'll add a minute on for that. Chris Burke, could be another goal. Celtic coming forward. And there's a miss, a chance for Celtic into the box. But it's cleared. Still just 20 yards out. Celtic still coming forward. Scales does well. Tries to play it down. But it's going to be a free kick to Rangers. Cyril Dessers on the deck there. Wow, what a game.
What a touch from
end.
Dessers as well, forward playing that build-up, wasn't it?
John.
It was a great touch.
A great deft touch with his head just to knock into the space and beat the
Rangers fans
pressure.
look more happy with the draw.
Well, this seemed like a victory for the Rangers fans, having been 2 goals down
Yeah,
at half-time.
especially Paul, when you're 2-0 down at half-time.
Sure.
And making his changes that Clement had done, and to have the setback again from getting to 2-0 to go to 3-2, and then making sure that you have that setback to go again.
There could be another goal, couldn't there? As it could be at either end. It's Rangers now coming forward. But a great point you make. Matondo, who scored just a few minutes ago, so he's a super sub, as was Adam Ida just a few minutes beforehand. It's the Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. We'll take some calls afterwards. 08 08 17 17 700. You can speak directly with the Old Firm stars, the Derby stars, John Hartson and Chris Burke.
Well, what do we know, John? Saying that Silver should stay on the pitch, and Matondo just scores one in the top corner.
Celtic got a free kick 25 yards out.
Yep, it's a foul there by Dowell, who's saying, not me, sir.
Bernardo, yeah.
Yep. So Bernardo, who of course fashioned Celtic's third goal, did so well, played it through to Adam Ida, who saw off Goldson, and Tavernier thundered it past the goalkeeper Jack Butland. I'll tell you, Gareth Southgate's getting his money's worth today, isn't he? It's going to be a free kick to Celtic. Nobody in any rush to take it. 95 and a half minutes gone, so there'll be another few to go, because they always add on a minute, don't they, at least if there's another goal. And so it's going to be taken by Paulo Bernardo. Our Celtic is that last throw of the dice, so they're going to go for it. Long, too much on it, out of play. That's actually a poor one, John, is it not?
Yeah, well, if it ends up 3-3, I think you've got to give credit to Rangers for the way they battled back, and that goal from Matondo. But it's an opportunity missed for Celtic. You think they've taken the lead twice in the game, 2-0, and then obviously 3-2, and from there they should really, really win and see the game out. But in all credit, Rangers, that's why they've been on the run that they're on. That's why they're in the position that they're in, because they have that character and that spirit within them.
Chris, why are they putting on Leon Balogun with 2 minutes to go for Connor Goldson? But Rangers coming forward. Ball is played. It must be an injury to Connor Goldson. Yeah. So Leon Balogun is on. So 96 and a half minutes gone. Rangers now 3-3 coming forward. Is there another goal here? Played to John Souttar. Souttar to Balogun, gets his first touch, plays it back sort of gingerly to Souttar, and Celtic have won a throw-in 10 yards inside the Rangers half. Is there another goal for Celtic?
A minute to go on the clock.
Is it going to be for Rangers? So there'll be another couple of minutes, John.
Yeah.
So check with Chris. So Alistair Johnson, long throw-in to Ida. Ida plays it for, could have been McGregor, but it's Iwata. Iwata to Taylor. Taylor, too much on it. How's Iwata done for you today, John?
He's done okay. Yeah, I think he's done okay. You know, he's held it in that middle of the park, if you like. McGregor comes on, and then obviously there's the both of them in there. But you know, for me, yeah, he's done okay. Paul, he's worked ever so hard.
Throw into Rangers for you. Who would be your, difficult to say, who would be your star? Who would you be your top Rangers player? Chris, have a think of it.
I think Dessers has played well.
Dessers, yeah.
I do. I think Dessers has played well. I think the introduction at half-time to Sima has made a huge contribution to the game. I think
as Rangers come forward, Dessers' shot just past the post. That was only a couple of feet past the left-hand post of Joe Hart. Sorry to jump in there, but that was almost goal number 4.
Yeah, Rangers win the second balls in the middle of the pitch, and it falls to Dessers 30 yards out. Ball's bouncing, he has a snapshot and a half volley, and it just goes past Joe Hart's left hand side, and he's right to have a go at it. You know, the game is probably done now. That's 98 minutes played, and he's unlucky, and I think he's had a good game today. John, from a Celtic point of view,
I think Matt O'Reilly did well. Obviously his penalty as well, he looked very calm. Alright, he's got off in the game. I think Maeda as well. I know we always talk about his energy, but he's had a good game today.
Is it all over, John? It's Rangers 3, Celtic 3 in the derby. Celtic stay 1 point ahead. The two managers actually are warm there with each other. Smiles, I think, from both of them, as we see Matondo there also on the sun and kicking off with some of the players on the pitch, and I'm not sure why. I saw the managers were absolutely fine. There's quite a few players there. Can't hear what it was. Some Celtic subs are on as well. Smiles there from John Sutter. I don't know what happened there, Chris. What a game this was. There were 6 goals.
Unbelievable game. It flowed from end to end, if you like. 2 good goalkeepers making outstanding saves at times. Some really, really good goals in the game, Paul. I'm slightly disappointed. Yeah, I think McGregor and is it Cantwell coming together there? Cantwell pushes McGregor and then Taylor gets involved, but it's nothing. Handbag.
Yeah. The kind of thing they shouldn't get involved with. No. Whenever
it's just passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the emotion of the game, isn't it? You need to remember, Celtic were 2 up, Rangers bounced back, Rangers score a late goal. That's just the emotions of the game. Like, I'm sure after it they'll shake hands and they go on, but you don't want to take that sort of element away from an old firm derby. Everybody loves that sort of passion and intensity. And if there's one thing about that game, obviously it's quite hard for us to hear the noise, but you could feel the noise. You could feel the intensity in this game, and what a game it was, Paul.
Rangers went in with great expectations. The Rangers fans were really confident today. Many of them will be disappointed. I know Chris will almost feel like a victory because they were 2 down. Remarkable second half compared to the first. And Inquest would say, what happened the first 45 minutes? But just overall, looking at the title race, what do we think now? Is it we said whoever would win today would win the title?
It's still in both teams' hands, isn't it? If they both win, it might come down to that game at Celtic Park, whenever that may be during that split, of course. But it was a really good game. I've got to say I'm slightly disappointed. Celtic being 2-0 up at half time. They were in pole position at that time. They went in playing the better. They were the better team in the first half. But also then, Paul, I have to say Rangers were excellent in the second half. They got the goal back. Then they obviously came back and they went as a draw. And then Celtic, we thought Celtic had won it with Idar, and then Matondo scores a great goal. So over the piece, probably the fair result. But I still think Celtic should have done better to hold on to their lead, having gone in so strong at half time.
I think you're right. I think Celtic will be disappointed more so because they were 2-0 up. But again, you have to give credit to Rangers. You have to give credit to, come on, these players, that psychological element of you're at home. You really probably have to win that game or at least get a point against Celtic. And they turned up, because they didn't turn up the first half and they didn't wake up at all. They really struggled, and I think that's fair to say and everybody to see that. But what they did do is they had a fantastic response second half. If there was ever where we said that, I said that I thought there would be a winner and that Rangers would nick it and it wouldn't be a draw. But if there was ever going to be a draw and I wanted to watch a draw in an Old Firm game, it would be this one, because it was excellent.
I think the general consensus leading into this game, Paul, I don't know what your feelings were, but I thought Rangers thought they were going to win this. I think they thought that, they've been on a really good run. They're at home in front of their own crowd, and all right, they would have respected Celtic, in terms of the quality that they have. But I think Rangers were really the supporters, the players, Clement. I think they expected to win this game today, and I just think that Celtic, they really shocked them in the first half, going 2-0 up and playing excellent. But I keep repeating myself, I thought Rangers came back into it really, really well. Whether that was Celtic that allowed them to push them back and they stopped doing the things they did in the first half really well. But you have to give credit for a team that's hit back to 2-2, and then they go down and they find the energy and the character to come back again. And Matondo scored a wonder goal from out wide. Well, I think Yang's got to show him down the line on his weaker left foot. Lets him cut inside and take nothing away from the finish.
Philip Comon's doing a kind of lap of honour at the end. Look at him with the fans. He's saying, "Come on."
Well, he's got that about him, and what he's done is he's created a connection between the fans and the players, something that wasn't there before. And what he's built so far in the space of time that he has is incredible. What a game set up for Wednesday, I'm sure it is, Paul, at Dundee. Yeah. What a game that is, because that's the game in hand that Rangers have. And probably then we'll have a little bit of a reflection on the actual title then.
Well done, guys. You've gone the 90 minutes plus.
I'm shattered myself.
Yeah, I know. Take it easy. We'll get you a cup of tea or something. 0808 17 17 700. You can speak. Maybe Rangers fans at the game. What was it like? Give us a call on the way home. Celtic fans out and about, watching, listening. What do you think?
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Get in touch with the team and they'll offer expert advice on effectively presenting your property. Let's go!
When it comes to selling your home at Go Green Property, our aim is to get you the best possible results. And how do we do this? Simple, by giving you the best possible advice. From expert insights on preparing your home for selling to sharing our advice on the local property market. At Go Green Property, it's our job to achieve the best possible price as quickly as possible. Sell your home with Go Green Property. Call Glasgow 374 0409. When it comes to selling your home at Go Green Property, our aim is to get you the best possible results. And how do we do this? Simple, by giving you the best possible advice. From expert insights on preparing your home for selling to sharing our advice on the local property market. At Go Green Property, it's our job to achieve the best possible price as quickly as possible. Sell your home with Go Green Property. Call Glasgow 374 0409.
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Start a new career as an estate agent. Call 0141 374 0409.
Let's go!
Well, what an Old Firm derby this afternoon. It finished at Ibrox 7 or 8 minutes ago. Rangers 3, Celtic 3. You can speak to Chris Burke and John Hartson, 0808 17 17 700. And on the line now, first up is Derek, big Rangers fan. Hi, Derek.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, John and Chris.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Can I first and foremost say what a fantastic game of football and a great advert for Scottish football.
I agree.
Yeah,
But,
it was a great game.
I think Matondo's goal at the end might be a championship winning goal. Right. I think that felt like a victory to Rangers today and might just slightly deflate Celtic.
Yeah, I think Rangers showed a lot of character, you know, being behind 2-0 at half time and being outplayed in that first half, Derek. To think that they came back the way they did, they showed a lot of spirit. They pushed Celtic back. Celtic couldn't really get out in the second half. And, you know, the third goal was obviously going to be really, really vital in terms of if Celtic got it, it was game over. Rangers got it, and all of a sudden there's momentum in the stadium. You get it back. There was a couple of decisions by John Beaton. I thought John Beaton had actually quite a good game today. I thought the VAR helped him out quite a lot. But then I do feel it's an opportunity missed by Celtic. They go in front, you know, twice, 2-0 up at half time. Then they go 3-2 in front. And there's a lapse in concentration. Yang, it's a brilliant finish from Matondo, my fellow Welshman. Absolutely wonder goal. But Yang's got to show him down the line. So from a defensive point of view, obviously you're talking about an attacking point of view, Derek. It's a wonder goal. Absolutely. It's fit, it's worthy. It's worthy of winning any game, Matondo's goal at the end. But I do feel it's an opportunity missed for Celtic, having held the lead a couple of times in the game, and then obviously not so much letting Rangers back in it, you know, because you have to credit Rangers for getting back in it. But that's where Rangers have done so well this season, Derek. That's why they've been on the run that they're on, because they've got that never say die attitude. Chris, what do you feel?
I think Derek could be right, but I think he probably has to make that assumption after the Wednesday game. Yeah. Because it's, as Clement will be saying, it's game by game. It'll be a tough game against Dundee. But what a finish. And I'm sure he did that last week or week before against Hibs. So you're right in what he's saying. You know, they should show him the line, but sometimes with that sort of player that can have that creativity and the speed in their movement, the way they touch the ball and how quickly it is done, plus that accuracy to do it, is a terrific goal. And Rangers, it probably does feel like them as if they've got the 3 points more than Celtic, because it probably now is in their hands. But Wednesday, I have to agree with Derek, but I'd have to wait and see what happens on Wednesday, because Rangers might not get it all their way because they put so much effort into this game. It must take so much out of you. Of course, Dundee desperate to be top six. Yeah, they are. I would actually like, sorry Paul, I'd like to ask Derek, because we're scratching our head at half in the first half. What was up with Rangers in the first half? What did you think and what did you make of it?
I thought he picked the wrong team, Chris. I thought Cadwell and either Matondo or Seamus should have maybe started. I did see the other night that I thought Matondo should have started ahead of Silva. And I must admit, my first reaction was the Rangers penalty was a dive. I don't think either of them were penalties, to be honest with you. I think Golson was quite unlucky at that one. It's not. I know it hit his elbow, but I thought both of the penalties were very, very soft. But I think bringing Seamer on wide right, and he terrorised Taylor and got his back into the game with the penalty. But I had to apologise because I sort of didn't take it well at half time, and I was arguing with people. I couldn't get to the game, so I was in a Rangers pub watching it, and I had to apologise to somebody for my behaviour at half time. But
oh dear.
Hey-ho.
Take them the sandwiches round that you promised us here if it was going to be a Rangers win. Derek's a big man that then apologises. Derek, it felt like a win, you think, and it could be. Ross, a Celtic fan, is on. Ross, what a performance by Celtic for much of the game today. How do you feel about it? Point gained or 2 points lost?
Hi Paul, Chris. Who else is in the studio, sorry?
John Hartson.
Ross.
Sorry John, apologies there.
Okay, Paul.
I was on Monday, Paul, and I don't know if you remember, I was on with Barry and Stephen, and I did say it was going to be 3 each. I said that.
Oh, you did? That's right. Wow, I do.
Well done, Ross.
I had a sense today it was going to be a draw, and I thought there was going to be goals, and I was absolutely correct the way it was.
That's right.
Did you pick goal scorers as well?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't that good, Chris. No.
So,
But from a Celtic point of view, at half time, I thought the first half, Celtic were tremendous. I thought for me the penalty the Rangers got, I think it is a penalty, and I'll tell you why. Because the contact that's made on him just before he goes down. So for me, there is enough there to give the penalty, and I can totally get why it is a penalty. But I think that goal kind of galvanised Rangers, and the second half Celtic just kind of fell away a wee bit. And for me, it feels like a defeat. But I'm happy with the point, but from a Celtic point of view, being 3-2 up, to come back and draw 3 each, it feels like a defeat for us.
I just said that, Ross. I think it was a missed opportunity. You know, it's a really difficult game for Celtic today. Going to Ibrox, no fans, and Rangers. The momentum, the good feeling, the good feel-good factor around the club. Everybody's backing Clement, the supporters. He's done a great job. So for Celtic to go there and start that the way they did, he got a little bit of luck, obviously, with the first goal. Tavernier trying to clear and hits Maeda's foot, flies past Butland in the goal. But you need luck in these games. But then I thought Celtic were excellent. I thought Maeda absolutely destroyed Tavernier in that first half. And if Tavernier wasn't Tavernier, I think he might have come off at half-time because he was getting absolutely ripped to shreds. And then in the second half, whatever Clement said, it worked. It worked, Ross. He might have given him a right rollicking. I said we need to get on the ball. We need to be better with our passing. We need to turn Celtic around. And Rangers did that. I thought the reaction to half-time was absolutely outstanding. Got themselves back in the game. But then when Ida scores with 6 or 7 minutes to go, you got an opportunity to win at Ibrox. You've got an opportunity to win a really, really big, important game. And you failed to do that. You failed to not see the game out. Saying that, it took a brilliant equaliser, didn't it, from Matondo. Scores a wonder goal, and ultimately you could probably say it was a fair result. But from a Celtic point of view, brilliant character from Rangers, but from a Celtic point of view, I think it was an opportunity lost, considering how the game went with the times that they took the lead.
Ross, who wins the title now? What do you think?
I think a draw for me, Paul, suits Celtic more than it suits Rangers. But again, Rangers have this game in hand, which I fully expect Rangers to go and win on Wednesday night up at Dundee. So I think it will come back down to this game at Celtic Park. Am I right in thinking if Celtic win that, does that put Celtic back top? Is that right?
Yes. If they win against St Mirren, You
So
know,
if Celtic win the game,
No, if Rangers, the Rangers have got a point. They've gone what? What's the situation?
oh,
now?
sorry, I thought you meant for the next game at Celtic Park. Is that what you mean? Ross?
yeah. So if Celtic beat Rangers at Celtic Park,
Yeah.
what does that
Well,
put Celtic fans top then?
remember, there's a couple of games before that, so we don't know yet. But at the moment, Celtic have 1 point more than Rangers. Rangers have a game in hand. So probably Rangers would hope to be 2 points ahead after Wednesday night. But look, it's...
If Celtic and Rangers
Yeah.
win all their games
That's
up
it.
until the next time they face each other and Celtic win, Celtic will go top by 2 points.
Yeah.
So see it at that point. If Celtic beat Rangers at Parkhead and go top of the league, I firmly believe I think Celtic will go in and win the title then. But for now, I think Celtic's in the driving seat, but there's still a lot of football to be played. So I don't want to dismiss Rangers just now.
Sure,
No.
and you're not. And Derek, what do you think on that now? What do you feel? You've got to go to Celtic Park. Do you think you can beat them?
We would need to beat them, but Paul, I thought we would do if we win all the other games.
Yeah.
So we would need to beat them at Celtic Park. If Rangers get a draw at Park and win all the other games, Rangers are the champions.
Yep. But do you think you will beat them at Celtic Park? Because you'd love to win one of the games. You've lost 2, you drew 1 today. What a comeback. Listen, it's going to be game on until the end of the season.
It's actually
isn't it?
amazing, because if you think about it, what Derek's just said, we don't need to beat them to win the title.
Yeah.
So Rangers could go through, I'm sure, the league season
I think
without
what
beating
we
Celtic and
Sorry,
winning the league.
something John Hartson said months ago, and I was saying, really?
But I think as well, Paul and Chris and the boys listening, Derek and Ross, I don't think we can just take it for granted that both teams are going to win their next 3, 4, 5 games. Listen, you got big teams up there. You got Hearts, who have beaten Celtic twice this season. You got Kilmarnock, who have beaten Rangers, who have taken 3 games, who have got results in 3 games against Celtic this season. So you got other really big games to concentrate on. I know what you're saying. Both teams would like to win and take it to Celtic Park, but the whole season hasn't gone like that. The whole season hasn't gone like that. Both teams have dropped points against the other teams in the league.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to say that it will go down to that game. Everybody thinks it will, but don't underestimate the threat that Hearts and Kilmarnock and these other guys, what they hold.
Derek, who was your standout player today for Rangers?
I thought Sima when he came on was outstanding in the second half. I thought he was the best player. But am I right in saying, Paul, that Celtic, after the split, have still to go to Rugby Park?
It depends on the... Obviously, sometimes you could play 3 at home and 1 away. It depends on the fixture, but it would probably look like, if it is, that Celtic go to Rugby Park. Yes, you're right in saying that.
Okay. And Ross, stand out for you from Celtic? Couple of names today?
I would say for me, Rio Hatate. I thought Hatate was brilliant today. And I thought Carter Vickers was just a rock at the back. But for me, Celtic's main player today was Hatate, and I would like to praise Nicholas Kuhn. I thought Kuhn was really well, and I think for the fact that is that his first derby at Ibrox, and I thought he handled the occasion really, really well. But I think as well Maeda. I thought Maeda, just what John said, I thought he had Tavernier all day, but I think you need to show Rangers some credit as well, Paul, for coming back.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
From getting beat 2-0 at half time to come back to bring it to 2 each. I know the goal get chalked off again for the foul, but I think the character that Rangers showed, it just shows you that Clermont generally does have a good team there. And I think I don't want to sit here and say that's it, his title's done and dusted.
No,
it's not.
sure.
Rangers done well today to come back, and I think it was a good point for Celtic. But listen, there's still a lot of football to be played, just what Derek said there, and I think there might be some more twists and turns, but just now Celtic are in the driving seat, but I think there's still a long way to go for me.
Yeah, and Rangers will say the same. Thanks, Ross. He called it right on Monday night. He said 3-3. And Derek, the sandwiches are safe tomorrow. Yep.
Sandwiches on hold.
Right, Paul, thanks. Have a nice
Cheers.
weekend.
Thanks.
Cheers, Derek.
You too, Derek. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. 08 08 17 17 700. Chris Burke, John Hartson, Paul Cooney, and Laurie is on from Carntine. Good evening, Laurie.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, John.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
My overall impression of the game, first and foremost, was it's a great advert for Scottish football.
Yes.
We are watching world. Both teams done Scottish football proud.
Well said.
I think that it was, and I hate using cliches, but it was the proverbial game of two halves. I can't help but think, as a Celtic fan, I had predicted the draw, of course, as you know, Paul.
Yep, you did.
When I was on towards the end of the week. But I can't help but feel that Celtic let Rangers off the hook in the second half. To me, what said it all was the celebrations that the Rangers supported at the end of the game. It was a huge collective sigh of relief that they were expressing that they had got a point. Admittedly, it looked mission impossible at the end of the half. But, as I also said the other night, Paul, as you will recall, nothing will be decided. Everything's up for grabs. I do think, and of course this is conditional, to Celtic and Rangers winning the games that have until they meet each other at Celtic Park, whenever that game is destined to take place. But I think now that Celtic are in a good position. We affectionately call Celtic Park paradise, but for Rangers, when they come there, they will experience the same hostility that my team had to experience today. So for all the Rangers supporters listening, although we're welcome to paradise, we'll be welcome to hell.
Chris.
No, listen, it was good what you said at the end. I liked it.
Get you in the Celtic dressing room, Laurie, when that game comes round.
Could be arranged. Chris,
so I just want to ask, Laurie, why do you think it was a game of two halves? Was Clement's substitutions better than Rodgers at the time that he was making them? Or do you think that maybe it's at 2-0 is a difficult scoreline? How do they approach it? I would just like to know why you think it was a game of two halves, because I totally agree with you in that.
It would be churlish and ungracious of me, Chris, if I failed to acknowledge the Rangers come back. I think probably Sima was a huge factor in changing the outcome of the game. I also think that Celtic perhaps were guilty of complacency in trying to defend a 2-goal lead. But you know what, I can't have too many criticisms. I'm well pleased, because I think if Rangers had won that game today, they most definitely would have been in pole position, Chris, for the remaining fixtures. Before the start of the game, I would have welcomed a point. As I say, Paul knows, I did predict it would be
You did the other night, yep.
I'm happy whenever lost. And I think that there's 6 or 7 games to go, but again, I'll finish by repeating my opening gambit, Paul, and that is that it was a great advert for Scottish football.
John, I think we do agree.
Well, I'm disappointed with the fact that Celtic was so in control at the end of the first half. Yes, what Laurie's saying and Burke's saying in the studio here is that you have to give Rangers credit. They completely turned it around in the second half. The half-time talk from Clement, I don't know what he said, but Rangers came out with a lot more urgency. They were better on the ball. Seaman made a big difference, down that right-hand side. He looked a threat with his pace up against Taylor. And for me, I think when you go ahead, twice in the game, 2-0 and then 3-2, especially when you go 3-2 up, you should be able to see that out then with little minutes to go. But then again, Matondo scores a worldy goal, fit to win any game, fit to get a draw in any game. But there is a tinge of disappointment from myself, because I thought that we put Rangers away in the first half, but then we sat back in the second half. But it's easy for me to say that sitting here. When you got that flow of pressure and momentum and intensity from Rangers in the second half, that did come, you have to give them credit, because they go in 2-0, they have to do something out of the ordinary to get back into the game, and they managed to do that. So the reason I'm a little bit disappointed that Celtic didn't pick up 3 points was because of what I said. They took the lead, and they got to have the ability and the mental strength to hold on to their lead, but also give Rangers credit for obviously coming back into the game twice, not once, but twice. So that's why Rangers are in the position that they're in, because they've been doing this all season. They've been coming back from goals behind. They've been scoring goals, and everything else. So for me, I'm slightly disappointed, because of the situation Celtic put themselves in.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it, 2 of the substitutions scored for Rangers, and I think Cantwell was hugely influential in that as well. So I think Clement made these substitutions at the right time. I think he's right. All the calls, and Derek and Ross and Laurie can all agree that Sima made a huge difference to the game, and he did. And Matondo scores a terrific goal, and it is a great advert for Scottish football, but it's also a great advert for the league as well.
Sure.
A long time that we're still competing for 2 teams that are competing for the title, but there is a lot of football to be played still, Paul.
But Laurie, you thought if Rangers had won today, they would be Victor Ladorum, and that's not the case. The winner of the games being the whole season. It's going to be fascinating. Thanks, Laurie. Thanks for your call.
Cheers.
Thanks, Laurie.
Cheers. He's got some great phrases, hasn't he? Our Laurie.
Was it paradise to hell?
To hell. Yeah, it's going to be some game. But you hear that from a few of them. Derek said it as well. What an advert for Scottish football, and we needed it. And we're not talking about VAR, or if we are, VAR probably got it right in some of those cases.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
So we're going to look
difference.
back on those moments coming up next. If you've been, Man United, Liverpool coming up, but will anything touch the derby, the Old Firm derby? 3-3 this afternoon.
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Unlock your potential and join the team. Recruiting real estate agents. Call 0141 374 0409.
Let's go!
2:30 Sunday afternoon. 3-3. Usually peace reigns on days like this across the city, and I hope it does. That people take care this afternoon. It was quite a remarkable game. We've heard quite a number of callers saying, wow, what a match. And it was the proverbial game of 2 halves. Celtic dominated the first, went up the tunnel 2-0 up at half time, and then after the 58 minutes of the second half, 53 minutes, it ended up 3-3. Can we just look with John Hartson and Chris Burke at some of the key moments? 0808 17 17 700.
We've only got half an hour here, Paul.
Indeed, I know. We'll whiz through it for you, then get home for Sunday lunch, is it? Roast for you? Yeah. Right, so Dyson Maeda, wow. 21 seconds, it's goal Celtic suddenly. The commentators would hardly have sat down and started when, well, it was a ricochet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Long ball.
It was a great
from the
start
keeper.
from Celtic, and Berkey was right. I think when Joe Hart kicks the ball up in Rangers' half, Maeda's already on his way. So it's brilliant from Maeda. He anticipates there'll be a mistake in the back from Tavernier. Tavernier is a little bit sloppy, tries to hook it away. I think if he's calmer, he can almost roll it back to Butland. Doesn't get side on. Maeda anticipates really well, puts his leg out, and it hits Maeda's leg, and that's where Celtic get a little bit of luck. They go in front with inside 30 seconds, and then I thought that gave them a lot of confidence, and they started to play really well from there. So it was a brilliant start from Celtic.
It was a great start from Celtic, you're totally right, and I think obviously we spoke about it earlier. Is it a ploy that they knew that Tavernier goes high as soon as Rangers take the kick-off, and then it's if the chance is to, if Joe Hart gets the opportunity to play into that space, and it's still made us on the front foot, but I think Tavernier will be really disappointed with himself. If you actually look at it, he's saying to Goldson, calm, and then from behind he has to worry about his own man, and he gets caught with not clearing it properly, and a bit of luck goes in. But then from then on, John's right, Celtic were on the ascendancy. Celtic put on all the pressure, and they should have, albeit they scored the second goal from a great penalty, Panenka from O'Reilly. They could have been more than 2 up.
Well, you're right. Maeda chance, which Butland saved. Hattati shot just wide. O'Reilly header, Butland saved in front of Gareth Southgate. And Liam Scales had a chance as well.
Yeah. So the weather.
And Goldson had a chance for Rangers. But you're right, that could have been a couple of goals up by then. What about the penalty? Matt O'Reilly took it so well. Was there the lead up to the penalty? Was it?
Well, the lead up to the penalty, obviously, it's debatable. I'm thinking to myself that it's not a penalty, but in the letter of the law it is a penalty, so I'm contradicting myself. It's just obviously the corner or free kick goes in. I think the set players that I just had. In fact, Celtic win back possession in Rangers half a game where Rangers were really poor in that. The first half, I thought, John, Celtic win the pressure back. They go to the side of the pitch, a cross comes in, and obviously Goldson there gets a handball, and go to VAR. John Beaton looks at it, letter of law, penalty. You could actually see Rangers players weren't really complaining that much about it, John.
It was a strange way to go and attack the ball from Goldson. He sort of led with his elbow. And then it just hits his arm as he comes in. I think Kyogo runs under the ball. Then it hits Goldson's elbow, if you like, and he leads with his elbow like that, and it just comes off his arm, if you like. And then, as Berkey said, letter of the law is it's a penalty. And I think when John Beaton sees that, I don't think he's got any other choice but to give it.
I think Golson's unsighted with the cross.
You think?
I think there's too many bodies in front of him, and he's misjudged the flight of the ball. There's been a little nick for Maeda, and then it's directed on his elbow, and then the penalty from there. Sorry, Paul.
No, not at all. So 2-0 half time.
2-0 half time.
Rangers make a change. They bring on Abdallah Sima.
Yep.
For Scott Wright.
Scott Wright,
and
substitution.
It did change things, didn't it? You could just tell, and you would expect that Rangers would come back, although the way they played in the first half, there was no guarantee. Maybe the wind was part of it in the first half, we don't know. So what about the James Tavernier penalty? Quite a few Celtic fans not happy about the award. So Alistair Johnson, the tackle on Silva. So we've seen it a few times there on Sky, and we saw the replays. It didn't look like it. I think live it looked as though died,
I think Alistair Johnson, what
he's
a little bit guilty of, Paul, is just dangling his leg. I think Seema he goes outside, then he cuts back inside, and Alistair Johnson almost just flicks his leg out, and then Silva, he goes over, and then but the referee had to have a look at this, because initially the referee gave Silva a yellow card for a dive. And then he went to the VAR, has told John Beaton to go and have a look at it himself. And he clearly then sees what he thinks then is a penalty.
What do you think?
I thought it was a penalty simply because Alistair Johnson dangled his leg and there's a little bit of contact with Silva. Now, if there's any contact like that in the box, generally it's a penalty.
But with Silva on his way down, quite a few people. Callum's on the socials.
If he's on his way down, then if he still gets any contact from Johnson, the referee will give it.
The thing is, Silva was probably at it a little bit during the game. He was a little bit soft, trying to get by fouls, and John Beaton wasn't having it, and credit to him. And then obviously booked Silva for that bit of trickery and Johnson. Now, you could say penalty or not penalty, but Johnson shouldn't lift his leg. He'll be disappointed. The manager will be saying
he dangles his leg and leaves it there, and he tries to get it back in quickly.
It's just like, as a fullback and a trickery winger, he's chopped him, he's done a great bit of trickery. I think they're not giving that penalty if Silva overruns the ball and it's out of play, but because he's still in control of the ball and could create a goal scoring opportunity with a cutback or whatever, John Beaton obviously has to go and look at it from what he's been told, and then it's been overturned and it's a penalty, and I think it's the right call.
Alex said, honestly think Silva made a meal of it, but it was a penalty, and that's maybe a fair assessment. Callum says, overall Celtic fantastic the first half, Rangers far better in the second half. Game on for the title for both. Nobody is too close to call. Celtic 1 point ahead, Rangers the game in hand. It's going to be Wednesday night. The build up to Dundee Rangers will be here. Right, what about, so then Tavernier penalty,
and then
2-1, and then the
goal.
Dezers goal 60 seconds later, 80 seconds. So what a run by Silva. Plays it through to Dezers, looks like a goal, but then VAR recalled it. And what did you see, Chris?
Well, funny enough, we were having a chat and we didn't really see if it was a foul or not. We just seen the breakaway from Silva, who was starting to come into the game the second half as much as Silva was. Me and obviously John said it as well. Silva's been influential in the game. He drives into the middle of the pitch for a counter attack. Dessers makes you need to watch it back. Dessers blocks the run onto Greg Taylor, so he can't get out to Seema. Silva slips Seema down the right hand side. Now, albeit Seema goes to cross it first time, he gets a second chance at it. There's a ricochet, and what all John will tell you this, what all good strikers do is they score the ugly goals in important moments, and he did that. Second post, puts it in, and everybody thinks Rangers back in the game from 2-0 down, and in a matter of a couple of minutes it's back to 2-2 and they're back in the game. But VAR again goes back to it, and we have to say it's the right call. Awata gets fouled by Lawrence in the attack from Celtic, so it gets pulled back. Obviously attacking phase of play, as they call it, I'm sure. And the right call is made by John.
I think Berkey summed it up perfectly well. Rangers they didn't really make much notice of the foul. They go through. It's a really good goal. He's right. Dessers, sniffs out a little goal almost just on the goal line. What good centre forwards do? They put themselves in the position to get tap-ins, and then the referee is called back by VAR, and it's given a foul in the build-up. Lawrence on Iwata. You could clearly see it was a foul. And then they bring it back. Celtic at this time are still 2-1 ahead.
Yeah, until
and that's the other call that VAR got right today.
John, so Celtic, I was going to say hung on for 30 minutes, but Rangers were much better in the second half. Celtic had bossed the first half. It was 86 minutes, 4 minutes remaining plus stoppage when Sima popped up to make it 2-2. And Chris, he took it really well, didn't he? Sima made such a difference today. You're just seeing it on the telly.
Well, obviously we're talking. What are we talking about now? The Sima goal.
The Sima goal.
To make it 2-2.
Look, they're just a moment behind us. We're actually just seeing what Big John and you were talking about
we're
a
just
moment
watching
ago.
back what we spoke about
back on Sky there.
But no, listen, Sima made a fantastic impact in the game. Picks up a great position. As obviously I played wide for all my days. As much as you want to be in the second post, you have to anticipate really well. If the second post is obviously occupied, you have to make sure you maybe come round a little bit and have that anticipation of where the ball is going to land inside the box. Picks up a great position, and what he does do is he might not make the cleanest of contacts, but what he does do, and you've seen it so many times where they blaze it over the bar, he's hit it into the ground, got a bit of fortune, and before you know it, it's 2-2. And I must say, well deserved 2-2 at that moment in time.
Yeah, it was a good finish. It was a really good finish from Sima. I thought he was very good when he came on. He came on with a real want to influence the game. He made a huge impact. It was almost like they held him back, to come on for the last half an hour, whatever it was. Or did he come on at half time?
Half time.
He came on at half time. And he made a big difference in the game, with the way that he plays. He runs in behind, and he's been a good player for Rangers this season before he got injured. It was a great finish. As Berkey said, he hits it into the ground. I'm not sure if there's a slight deflection on it.
Just seeing it again.
It flies into the top corner of Joe Hart's left hand side, and that was on the 86th minute, Paul. But so then you're thinking, well, it's a draw.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 minutes left, but that adds extra time.
I know.
And then Celtic go up the other end.
Yep.
And Idar scores a really good goal, shows his strength, turns, hits it first time past Butland, and then you're thinking, right, Celtic will go on to win this, and then you get that magical goal from Matondo, which gets Rangers a point.
On the second goal, we forgot to mention as well how Callum McGregor, when he's so reliable, he's been so reliable in so many, not just Old Firm games, but in all games. And he's placed a pass trying to give it to, I think, Iwata. But Dejon Sterling's obviously marking Iwata. He's anticipated well and he stole the ball. And then the shot by Sima is deflected off Callum McGregor and goes in the back of the net.
Came off of?
I'm sure it was. So it's just unfortunate that.
To be fair, he was involved in the Ida goal though, wasn't he? Because he played it through to Bernardo to Ida. And
it's a great response.
A good strike, isn't it?
Unbelievable response from Celtic. That caught Rangers in the cold. They always say you're most vulnerable after scoring a goal.
Why is that?
And that's happened. Now I don't know whether you just have to remain that focus. And Clement would have been fuming with that because they'd done so well, played so well as well second half to get back into the game. But then Celtic come up with a sucker punch, and when you switch off with good players, at any moment they can kill you. A great pass with Bernardo right into the feet of Ida, who just peels off a little bit. Great body shape, passing into the feet. If he passes it into space, and I don't think he's getting it, and then strikers, you see it all the time, hitting it through the legs and through the bodies of the defenders. Butland can't see it, and before you know it, it's 3-2, John.
And surely that's it. But no, 8 minutes to go. We knew there was going to be a bit of time, and my goodness, what an equaliser from Rabbi Matondo. We talked about his pace. He's got a great attitude, hasn't he, Chris?
Yeah. So we were actually probably saying the opposite, and John said it as well, like why they taking Silva off and put Matondo on. But listen, that's why the manager is the manager. You have to be the best at making decision-making moments at the right time, and he's done it, and he's done that since he stepped in the door at Rangers. And Matondo comes up with the goods, and what a finish it is.
Shall we take another call after this?
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Get in touch with the team and they'll offer expert advice on effectively presenting your property.
Let's go!
It finished 3-3 this afternoon. John Hartson's here, Chris Burke, and Justin is on the line, a big Rangers fan. Hi, Justin.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you feeling after that today?
Frustrated. Really frustrated, Paul. I don't know what the guys think, but I think for the first time since the Gaffer's come in, since Clement's come in, I think he gets team selection wrong today. I think he's starting with Wright and starting with Silva didn't work, and it was clearly not working. I don't know why, and as I say, I've mentioned it once or twice before about Scott Wright. I don't think he's good enough for what we're doing, but I definitely don't think he's good enough to start an all-firm game, regardless of how decent he done against Hibs the last week. If Seema's fit enough to be on the bench and come on, surely he's got to start, and if he's not getting the full 90 minutes in him, then you replace him later on. Yeah. But why him and Cantwell haven't started that game today, I'm astonished by, genuinely astonished. I don't know what the guys think, if they were watching the same game as me, but...
Right, John, what do you think?
I agree. I'm surprised Cantwell didn't start with his energy and his, the way he gets himself forward and stuff like that. He's a very good... He gets a goal. He scored previously against Celtic this season. He's got a goal in him. And Seema, I said exactly the same about Callum McGregor. I said Callum McGregor has worked to get himself in this position where he's fit to be involved in the game. And I think if you're fit, if you declare yourself fit to play, to be in the squad, then why not play McGregor from the start, knowing full well he might not last the game, but you got Iwata, you got Bernardo, you got other players to come on for him. So for me, you're saying the same about Seema. If he's fit to start, then start him, and that's exactly what I have done with Callum McGregor as well. So I make you absolutely right.
Chris, what do you feel?
Listen, you can't disagree from what Justin's saying. But the thing is it probably, it worked the second half. It was just obviously not the whole game. I think Clement generally does get his squad selection right, and I probably do agree with Justin. I would have maybe rather had Cantwell rather than Lawrence. I just don't know about the situation where, was it a late call for Yilmaz to be available, and if Yilmaz was available, would have played Sterling off one of the side of the pitch, but then it was a late call and he decided to play Sterling. Was that more influential to play him left back and play an attacking player wide, or put Barisic in at left back and put Sterling in a wide situation? So he's went with the Sterling situation to play left back and put Wright on the wing. It didn't work, but what it did do is he made great substitutions at half time and obviously motivated the players to make them keep believing that they can overturn it.
Justin, you must have been worried though after the first 35 minutes.
I was watching that, and as I say, the first goals I freaked. I was out of position a wee bit, but we just looked lacklustre. We didn't look as if we were awake at all. And honestly, for watching it for the first 20 minutes, Silva was never off his backside for the first 10 minutes. Even his own players were telling him to get up and stop rolling about the deck, which is unbelievable. I couldn't believe he didn't come out for the second half. I honestly couldn't. And I know he kind of bucked his ideas up and he went down for the penalty, which he was obviously still booking him for, and then changed his mind based on how he'd been doing the first 20 minutes. But as I say, I think I thought Sterling was our best player in the park today. I thought he was aggressive. I thought he was combative when somebody get by him. His recovery was brilliant. He didn't gear up. I thought Diamande in the middle of the park had a good game as well. I think there was too many people sleeping round about them, or just didn't seem to get it. And the one that was more alarming for me than anybody was Golson. He seemed lackadaisical at points. He seemed as if he was looking for other players to bail him out. And that, especially for Celtic's third goal, it's just no good enough.
All right, Justin, thanks for your call. Lots of calls coming in. Rangers manager Philippe Clement told the BBC a short time ago, "I don't know if it was a classic, but my boys did something special. We showed our real quality and personality. We got a well-deserved point. We are more the winners of the day, he said. It could have been more, but I think the result is also good. They took the message at half-time from the manager. We'd love to hear what it was he said in the best way, and they showed who they really are in the second half. We showed a lot of power, resilience, personality and mentality. A lot of positives, he said. Brendan Rodgers, interviewed just on Sky just a few moments ago, said he's disappointed with the Rangers penalty. He says you expect some sort of reaction in the second half, being 2 goals up. I'm disappointed with the penalty. If you watch it back, I think the referee makes the right decision in the game. Alistair Johnson makes a really good challenge. The player then simulates and goes over. He went over a few times in the game. Justin just mentioned there about, the fact that he went down a few times, Silva. He said, we're disappointed not to win, but to leave here with everything in our hands is what we wanted. We played with a calmness, attacking with and without the ball. We made the crowd really edgy, and that's what we wanted. We showed quality and heart in really tough conditions. Here's Robbie in Falkirk, a Celtic fan. Hi, Robbie.
Good afternoon, guys. What a game, huh?
I know.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that penalty decision just since you've actually read that part out. Paul. For me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. If it was role reversed with the jerseys, I would still say the same opinion. It wasn't a penalty. Here's why. See, if you watch it on the replay, Alistair Johnson puts his leg out high up above Silva's knee, and as soon as there's contact, he draws it away right away. It's coming away as soon as there's contact, and the contact is minimal. He's actually taking his leg away right away after a minimal contact. And here's another thing. I'm not wanting to get into physics too much, but see actually where the contact is. See if the contact's further down the leg, then you can see why he's maybe tripped him. But see with his body weight, with him running Silva, right, and it being high up on his knee. And with the minimal contact, you've got to mind that, how body, that's just about halfway up his body, but it's just above his knee. And there's no way that's enough contact to take him over. But once John Beaton goes over to the monitor and it's slowed down, it's going to look worse than what it is, especially when it's slowed down. It was never a penalty. But as I say, roles reversed, I've got to say the same. If it was a Rangers player putting the leg out, never. What do you think, guys?
I just think, Robbie, I agree. I think it was very, very extremely soft. But I think when you look at it, does Alistair Johnson have to dangle his leg? I know he tries to pull it away straight away. And you were saying there's minimal contact. Pretty much in the game now, if there's any contact in the box, players are going to be clever and they are going to go over. I agree with you. I thought Silva was shocking at times, the way he was rolling around the pitch and everything else and trying to get the Celtic players booked and just trying to, make a difference in terms of not so much his play, but the way he was play acting at times. But I do believe that there is minimal contact and it's extremely soft. But that's what's sucked John Beaton in when he's gone and watched the TV screen himself. He can see there's minimal contact, by Alistair Johnson on Silva's knee. Silva's gone over, and that's the reason why he's give it, which again I think is very soft.
Chris Burke.
He's played for it. Yeah. That's anybody who's watched the game, knows the game and understands a little bit of the game, he's played for it. He has. That's what he's done. Listen, he could have easily stayed on his feet, but how many times have you said about any player when they get fouled, whether it's a transition, whether it's a tactical foul, where somebody can stay on their feet? They simulate it the way they wanted to do it. And John's right. As soon as there's contact now, they run the risk. So Johnson ran the risk because he's maybe poor body shape. Maybe he should have kept his foot planted in the floor, making Silva make an extra touch inside the box, because Johnson was playing well against Silva.
He was, and I've got to say, Robbie, I thought Rangers absolutely delighted. You can see with the way that the fans and the manager celebrated after the game, the players walking around the pitch, absolutely delighted that they got back in the game at 3-3.
After the afters with Cantwell with McGregor. Not quite sure what happened. Robbie, we're running out of time. What are you feeling though? A chance missed today, or you've come out with 1 point? What do you feel?
Yesterday I got that midfield right, mind. I was asking
you did. You did.
Hatate and O'Reilly, and I got that right. And Mark Guidi, that was questioning a wee bit. I'm just going into these last See, the thing is, this is a tricky game for Rangers going up to Dundee after the energy of that game and having to go to Dundee. That's a trick. Dundee are a good team.
And Dundee are still trying to get top 6, yeah? So,
absolutely.
I know. No, it's going to be some game.
Another thing I want to say is, I think when the post-split fixtures come out, I think that the Celtic Park game is going to be the second game in.
Yeah,
I don't know if John Hartson and your man Burke there agree with it. I think it'll be the second one in.
That's the 11th, 12th.
It certainly will be. It won't be the last one. They wouldn't give it to the last one, actually the last game of the season. So I believe you're right, Robbie. I think it'll be the second or the third game in.
Yeah, I agree with John. It'll have to be the second or third game in. It'll just be down to making sure that, I'm sure Clement and Rodgers will be saying the same thing, make sure you win the next game, because teams are good enough to take points off Celtic and Rangers this season.
And I think, Berkey, people were saying, what a game today's going to be. Yeah. What a game that's going to be back at Celtic Park.
Yep. Probably the Sunday the 12th of May. Could be that one. Robbie, thanks very much for your predictions, which are right, and thanks for your call. Cheers. Thank you, and thanks to Justin, who was on just before him. Well, can you believe that's 3.5 hours? I know. Just about last
Brilliant
minute
game,
or so. Quite an afternoon,
what
wasn't
an advert
it?
for Scottish football, and it was on Sky and everything else.
Brilliant. Go Radio and Sky. Doesn't get any bigger than that, does it? Chris, good luck for the rest of the season with Kilmarnock. You're taking the under 18s.
Under 18s, yeah.
And
good there.
It's a great football club. It really is.
Fantastic football club, and we're going well at this moment in time, and hopefully we can finish the season strong and get ourselves in Europe.
Will you come back in again?
Yes, hopefully, if he's asked me back. James, listen, if it's anything like this, then yes, most definitely. Hopefully I can bring a bit of luck and give a bit of excitement. But
thank you for the insight. You too, John. Great form
Paul.
today.
I'm knackered.
A few moments there, weren't they? I know you were commentating. It's another go. Some moments.
Great game. What a game. What an advert. Excellent. Loved it every minute.
Thank you. So it continues, it goes on. We'll be back tomorrow night at 5 with Barry and Mark. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of the weekend.
The Go Radio Football Show with Go Green Property. Get your home ready for the market with help from their team of experts.
Let's go! When it comes to selling your home at Go Green Property, our aim is to get you the best possible results. And how do we do this? Simple, by giving you the best possible advice. From expert insights on preparing your home for selling to sharing our advice on the local property market. At Go Green Property, it's our job to achieve the best possible price as quickly as possible. Sell your home with Go Green Property. Call Glasgow 374 0409.